A trophy that now has Daniel Negroni's name attached to it and a series that brings in the best players from across the world. This is the PokerGO Cup, and today it's final table coverage of event number 1 as we kick things off with this $10,000 buy-in tournament. We welcome you to Las Vegas, Nevada, inside the PokerGO Studio. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hankson. Brent, it is time to play for the Cup.
Yeah, the high roller holy grail on full display. Someone's going to take home that beautiful cup, and it could be one of these guys at our first final table.
The Holy Grail, I like that.
You like that, huh?
$10,000 buy-in for event number 1, 77 entries, creating a prize pool of $770,000. We're playing with 40-minute blind levels, and Darren Elias, the end boss, is here.
Big brisket. The man knows how to smoke meats, and he also knows how to close at a final table.
Some tough competition lies ahead for Elias. Scott Ball is here, the winner of 2 bracelets at the series.
What a 2021 campaign. Scott Ball made his mark.
And it's Andrew Lichtenberger, Lucky Chewy, a almost overwhelming chip leader to kick things off at this final table.
Overwhelming chip leader and overwhelming optimism. Always happy, so classy. This kid is tremendous.
Lichtenberger with more than 3.8 million in chips, about 40% of the chips in play. Elias in second, Daniel Colpoys in third, Matthew Wantman in fourth, Mike Lang is here, he's in fifth. Scott Ball is our short stack. A look at what they're playing for. Our final 6 guaranteed. $46,200, about a 15K pay jump from 6th to 5th. Up top,
yeah,
more than 200K.
Yeah, I could see it there.
Oh yeah.
Start at 20K, 40K with a 40K big blind ante. Welcome everybody checking us out on YouTube. Say hi to us in the chat. Start with Lucky Chewy in the small blind with the queen 3 off. Wantman in the big, starting the hand with about 25 bigs.
Yeah, let's watch Lucky Chewy get to work here, applying pressure to Wantman, who's right in the middle of the pack, 4th in chips. That awkward chip stack of just shy of 25 big blinds. Lichtenberger's just going to go to work and put a ton of pressure on him with this pre-flop raise to 110,000.
I'm going to make the call with the king 3 of spades.
In position, king 3 suited. He's got Lichtenberger in rough shape at the moment.
And he flops a king. So comes king 5 deuce, 260K in the pot, as you see on the bottom right corner of your screen.
Chewy obviously not done. Gonna bluff here. Just queen high. Very dry flop. Just comes king 5 deuce rainbow. Every time Wantman doesn't have a king, Chewy's just gonna pick this pot up. You get a lot of folds, and here's the bad news.
So Wantman makes the call.
Jeez. You're gonna get a workout. You have to stand up and pull chips in every time. That's like, like going to the gym.
It's an interesting turn card, as it is another Broadway ticket. Lichtenberger may elect to use this to try and represent by firing a second shell in hopes of folding out some sort of 5, perhaps a deuce or an ace high holding, maybe a small straight draw. And he is just stepping right into it, unaware that Wantman has top pair.
Betting 220,000 here on the turn. Wantman 770K behind, as you see on the bottom left corner.
Wantman has clearly a decision to make with just that king and a 3 kicker. Backdoor hearts have now shown themselves. Obviously, some sort of Broadway straight draw could be present. Have to be concerned about Lichtenberger having some of that. However, Andrew Lichtenberger has absolutely nothing, just queen high.
10 on the river. Does a queen in his hand entice him to fire one more time? Wantman with 550K behind.
And what a card it is. That queen is sort of a key card as it completes the ace queen for a straight as well as queen 9. Lichtenberger processing now, what exactly am I trying to fold out? If we're concerned that Wantman has a king, would this actually work to try and represent a straight with my hand?
Used for an additional 30 seconds to act.
If he does check here and surrender, he simply just doesn't believe that Wantman is going to fold any sort of king.
And there's the shove. Max pressure being applied by our chip leader to start this final table.
My, oh my. Lucky Chewy going for it early and often. Fires all 3 shells, nothing but a stone bluff.
Can Wantman find the call for the early double up?
Wantman absolutely hates it. He knows that 10 is a bad card as ace queen gets there. Queen 9 does get there. Could it be an unlucky 2-pair candidate that he's up against? Does he really think that Lichtenberger would be bluffing the very first hand? It's such a substantial pot.
Remaining chips, if they all go into the middle, they'll have found a double up. Let's burn through a few time extensions now.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Just a horrible spot, the first hand at this final table. You know, he called the turn in hopes that it would just go check, check on a lot of rivers and that Lucky Chewy would give up, but he didn't give up. Now he's questioning, was my king ever good? Did I just get unlucky on this river?
There is that call. He'll see the good news. And just like that, Matthew Wantman has moved up to second place in chips.
And a great call
550
by Wantman as he picks off Lucky Chewy right away, sets the tone. Critical double up really for Wantman as he now shoots up to roughly 50 big blinds, plenty of depth now to that stack. Despite the failed bluff for Chewy, he remains our chip leader at 2.9 million. That's still more than 70 big blinds, Jeff.
This is Wantman's first cash on the PGT this year. We saw him plenty at the Poker Masters last year, including a second place finish in the 10K PLO event. Say hello to Wisco, to Matt, to Eric, to Cardmaster, to Leo, to Mark, Harold, Phil, and more. Thank you all for being here. Be interacting with the chat throughout the course of play.
Here comes Dan Colpoys. He's been an online grinder for quite some time. Plenty of live results, more than $1.1 million career earnings. Very good tournament player. Good friends with Ali Amshurovich, the 2021 PGT Player of the Year.
Hear the voice of tournament director Paul Campbell kicking things off in event number 2. Another 10K no limit as we take a look at the series overview for the Cup. 8 events. We go from 10K to 15K to 25K to 50K to 100K. Use the PokerGO Tour point scoring system for the most points earned by the end of the series wins the PokerGO Cup and wins a cool $50,000.
Yeah, you can put that 50 grand right inside the cup.
Oh, that's not a bad strategy.
You know what else you can put in there is a fresh lager, which Daniel Negroni did when he took home the cup last year. Drank right out of that. Our defending champion did play event number 1. He bowed out about halfway through day 1. He's back here on the outside. As we just saw a moment ago, he is playing event number 2. Negroni claims he's going back-to-back.
That's right, he is here to defend the cup. Perhaps on the fence about playing a couple weeks ago, but now he says he's locked and loaded, ready to go. Wantman with the ace-jack, gonna put some pressure on Colpoys here, who opened with the king-10 suited.
This is a tread carefully dynamic.
Yeah.
Colpoys, king-10 suited. You hate to have to fold that hand.
Sure.
But Wantman, Colpoys, and Elias, all with between 50 and 40 big blinds apiece. They really don't want to battle with one another, considering Lang and Ball are both so short with 15 big blinds. So you're going to see that where Colpoys, a hand good enough to raise king-10 suited, but quickly just throws that hand into the muck whenever he faces resistance.
Look at our chip denominations. Blue chips worth 5K apiece. Purples worth 25K each. Not a great seat assignment for Colpoys with Lucky Chewy and Wantman on his left. Is that you humming?
It's not, Jeff. I'm not much of a hummer.
Yeah. Well, that's good at least.
I can whistle with the best of them.
Yeah. Ace 5 for, I believe, the culprit in the humming, Mike Lang. Great guy from Iowa. We had the pleasure of meeting earlier today before play kicked off.
Heck of a good guy. He's an amateur. He knows he's the amateur. He has no pressure on his shoulders. He's just coming out here to blast off, try and compete with the best players in the world and find a W.
Scott Ball has found the queen-10 in the big blind. Our short stack entering today's play. He and Lang effectively even.
And Ball can go either way. He's considering maybe jamming all in pre-flop or just calling and taking a flop. Let's see 3, which looks like exactly what he'll do. Sort of wonder if Lang wasn't an amateur, would Ball consider just moving it all in there and try and win it pre-flop with queen-10, expecting to get a lot of folds.
He just defends and flops a 10 here.
Good check.
Goes check, check, I believe. Turn card brings the 6 of spades.
And I like the check back from Lang. Ace high can be the best hand, good enough to get the showdown. That texture on the flop really does favor the big blind more so than himself. He's gonna save some chips by not doing a continuation bet here, and correctly gets away on the turn whenever Ball bets.
Scott Ball takes down that pot. What a 2021 World Series it was for Ball, winning the 5K 6 max for more than $562,000, and also winning the 1K little one for one drop at the end of the series for almost $400K. As we take a look at his bio board presented by GPI THM, basically started Twitch poker.
Right.
I mean, he and Somerville, kind of the OGs in that movement. think he was primarily a cash game player, but really shifted his focus towards tournaments within the last year.
Elias with a pretty one, Queen 9 suited. He does have, again, that sort of, you know, annoying stack and position at the table. He's fourth in chips, 40 big blinds. Typically, I think he'd want to see a flop from the button, perhaps 3-bet those hands. But because, again, that Ball and Lang are short, just going to stay out of the way.
About a 15K pay jump from 6th to 5th. Colpoys will defend with the Jack-6 of clubs. Swing and miss here on the 10 at deuce-deuce. Brent, did you see what PokerGO typed in the chat earlier?
Now, is this about the hot dogs? Yeah. Well, I will willingly eat 5 hot dogs, Jeff.
Okay,
they don't need to type it in.
Well, PokerGO says type hot dogs for Brent in the chat if you want to see him eat 5 hot dogs before the final stream later this week. I'll be picking the condiments.
What do you mean the condiments?
Well, I mean,
ketchup, mustard?
Well, we'll see. I might give you a variety hour. I might put some mayo on it.
No, I'm not doing the mayo on the hot dog. You're not allowed to. I will eat hot dogs, though. Last time I did a shot of hot sauce.
That's right. Matt Wantman's been around the game for a while. From Massachusetts. Playing tournament poker for a little bit more than 10 years. As results in both No Limit Hold'em and Pot Limit Omaha events.
I am curious. Let's, go back to the hot dogs for a moment here, Jeff. Do you consider a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
You don't? Okay. Chat, let us know.
Wantman with the ace-king of clubs.
Well, we'll have to redo this one in post.
StormX on the wall behind us. StormX, PokerGo's exclusive cryptocurrency partner. Bless you. 7-6 suited for ball on the button. About 18 bigs. Colpoys with a pretty one in the small blind.
And Wantman has been active, right? I mean, we saw the very first hand getting a clean double up against Lucky Chewy. We saw him open ace-4 offsuit just a moment ago, and now ace-king suited, seemingly rewarded with a premium, and he doesn't find any takers.
Colpoys lays down the Jack-10 suited. A new season of high-stakes poker premieres February 21st on PokerGO, featuring Doyle Brunson, Daniel Negroni, Phil Ivey, and you can watch it all on PokerGO. Subscribe now so you don't miss an episode. Use the code CUP22 to get a new annual subscription for less than $7 a month. CUP22. 9s for Scott Ball.
We've got a lot of codes. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did.
Layers of them. It's like the Matrix.
CUP22, though, you understand that one because it's PokerGO Cup in the year 2022.
Well, I'm putting it together now.
Yep, makes sense.
Yesterday was 2/22.
What?
This is all 3 of them?
The date. It was
February 2nd, 2022.
It was 02/02/2022.
These things,
Right.
Isn't that fascinating?
That is so fascinating.
Which means we're also going to have an 02/22/2022, and that's it happens to fall on a Tuesday.
That's great, man. That's great.
What a ridiculous way to do this.
These are all things I've learned on Twitter.
To get these
Yeah.
things.
Well, this is fascinating insight and analysis. Not sure if that hand will make the TV episodes with that conversation attached to it.
Sovereign. Yeah, Sovereign makes me do it. Entrusting myself.
How
to
about
him
that?
Little,
How about what?
That stuff.
yes.
Anyway, let's get back to the
Wild guy.
chat.
Have you had this? The shot
We got
play?
Meadow
This
Arrow
one.
in the middle. Wisco Baron, I swear, Wisco Baron has been watching
Yeah.
every single one of our
Respect.
shows.
Yeah,
Shout
this is
out
like the
Wisco
kinda
Baron. What's
spicier
going
one,
on,
but
man?
This one in the middle is just like, I don't know, it's rough.
It's like I know the flavor of the turmeric.
It's a very rough one, yeah.
Not for everyone. That's for sure.
Maybe it takes some getting used to.
I think that's fair to say.
I can't help but notice that the legend John Hennigan in the background is Lucky Chewy kicks this thing up.
Oh, wow.
80,000.
What's he doing here?
Well, Jeff, if I had to guess, he's playing event number 2.
Don't see Johnny World mix it up in too many no-limit tournaments.
From what I
This one I
understand,
actually like, though.
he's been fascinated
It
with
tastes like nothing what you
no
would,
limit
like, it
hold'em
doesn't taste anything what you
tournaments,
expect
and
it
he's
to.
been
Well, that one's a bit
working in
sweet,
the
right?
lab with his
Yeah,
good
it
buddy
almost
Nick
just tastes like
Schulman,
a milk. It's kinda
trying to
weird.
get better.
Yeah.
Going to compete a little bit more.
Wow. Love to hear that. The all-time icons.
And a 10K for Hennigan is like a,
Well, yeah. I think
you know, that's
can
like a
afford the
$10
buy-in.
buy-in for
Yeah.
you and I.
Speaking of icons, Lucky Chewy's name belongs on that list. Poker pro from New York, lives in Vegas now. Just has been a crusher for such a long time. Elgin in the YouTube chat, is this just a 1 hour preview or the whole final table? You get the whole thing.
Let's do it
Elgin,
all.
how about every single minute?
You know what, though? But I'm going to change that unless we get to at least – I'm going to set the line right now. Those thumbs up, if you're tuning in on our YouTube channel, I'm going to need to see 200 of them. We need 200 thumbs up in order to do this entire final table. Otherwise, I'm pulling the plug, Jeff. So, subscribe. Click that thumbs up.
I'm all in.
Let's watch this whole thing.
All of it for Lang. We'll watch that get through. Wisco Barron says, let's face it, Hanks, your poker playing career is over. The only time Jeff will ask you to stand up from a chair is when you steal his recliner at a Super Bowl party.
Well,
I
you're
said
not
stand
wrong.
up for me, please, to Mr. Hanks a couple times during the main.
Speaking of which, you're up for a big award.
Yeah,
with
don't
your
mean to
stand-up.
brag, but let's take a look at Mike Lang's bio
Shtick.
board presented by GPI-THM. It's not about me. It's about Mike Lang out of Iowa. Husband, family man, businessman, poker player. Almost, or a little bit more than $600,000 in career life tournament earnings. Loves the game, loves the competition.
Someday when I retire and sell my business, I think I'm going to
You're gonna
start playing
jump into-
10Ks on the PGT.
Back to me, though, and the awards I've been nominated for.
Let's do that.
Yeah. No, you go ahead. I mean, you can just prop
Well,
me
you're
up
the-
a little bit.
You're nominated for 2
Right.
awards.
2
You're
Global
also
Poker
the
Awards.
host of the Global Poker Awards alongside the lovely Drea Renee.
She's fantastic, yes.
I mean, this is sort of a big month for
It's
you.
a big deal. February 18th on PokerGO and probably on this YouTube channel as well.
Right,
if I had
and
to
for the
guess.
first time in the history of the Global Poker Awards, the host, rather than being paid, is actually paying us to present, which
which
is
just
amazing.
Took that deal in a second.
Right.
No,
Hard to say no when you're offering 5 figures.
I didn't pay to host. Darren Elias, the end boss, the winner of 4 World Poker Tour main events. The University of Redlands. Used to be a lifeguard. I didn't know that.
I could see him being a lifeguard.
Absolutely.
Big time beach guy.
Ernesto says later dude's heading to her house. All right, good luck at Ernesto. Sandy Sanchez, all Brent has to do is to get D-Negs drunk and he'll put him in the 10K.
Speaking of which, I've got this beautiful bottle of Well, a beverage next to me. Maybe I'll take it out and see if Daniel's thirsty.
Oh, there we go.
I could play
Start
event
the
number
process,
2.
yeah. Wantman opens here to 80K at the Jack-10 offsuit.
Yeah, inevitable
Ace, Queen of Spades.
collision, you know, Lang's stack. He's got 15 big blinds. You know the play here. Everybody tuning in. When you get below 20, typically you just grip and rip, pile drive, all in, say a little prayer.
I get a count.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Colpoys has 2 jacks.
I'm on.
And we see some chips going into the middle here. We see Mike Lang all in and at risk with the ace, queen of spades against the 2 red jacks. Dan Colpoys.
You're jacks, man.
My
I
hand.
had a jack. The red ones too, right?
How can you possibly win? I had a jack.
I guess I'll fuck myself.
I had a spade.
There we go. No!
It's even.
I had 2 spades.
Dang!
I had ace jack.
Taking all my hope.
Just kidding.
All of the outs for both players have been revealed.
Good game, guys.
Gets up, ready to rock and roll.
That's not what almost got you a flush yesterday.
He's just going to win on the river and not even realize it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here comes the flop. 9-3-3, a safe one for the
Hard not
jacks.
to
I was just thinking that as well.
unless it runs 3-3.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Come on, man. you have such a strong universal.
Perfect.
You have such a strong universal pull. I feel like you're fucking me here. Just 3-3.
No.
Turn card. 5 of diamonds. Lang down to 6 outs. You see him on
Ace
top
on
of
the
your
river.
screen.
Very
He wants
G.
an ace. A queen will do as well.
Very G.
River card.
Happens every time.
I'd take a queen, too.
That's a deuce.
Good game, guys.
Okay, man.
That'll do it for Mike
Play
Lang.
with you.
Game.
Out in 6th for
Jacks have been strong for
$46,200.
you.
I'll say that's a tough hand to play.
Brent on the board at the PokerGO Cup. as
Yeah, on the
amateur.
board once again
Nice
here
going, man.
inside the studio. We had a nice showing at the Stairway to Millions. Now back here for the Cup. We're going to see a lot more of Michael Lang, the amateur out of Iowa.
You got a dirty
Good
stack
start
in front.
Yeah, I saw.
to the
Thank you.
series for him, and one of the most raunchy, vulgar, foul-mouthed poker players that I've come to know, Daniel Colpoys, with a pretty big pot there as he jumps up to second in chips, 2.3 million.
And now Lichtenberger,
I was
Colpoys,
like,
Wantman, and Elias are pretty deep.
Yeah, most likely. I was like.
You mentioned his online success. Has some live results as
Come
well.
over here.
Totally.
Finished in 4th at a 25K in Florida.
I'd seen his name in the updates. I thought it was a
Just
different
last
Mike
month.
Lang. Isn't there 2?
Yeah, no, the other one's Mike Liang, the Asian guy.
It's a different spell.
Yeah. No, he's been coming around, playing around here a little bit lately.
Is that like the 4th or 5th time you've stacked someone with jacks in like 5 levels or something? 3rd?
I think. I only remember 3.
3?
See our audio guy
Yeah.
Ruben in the background
that's
with the
right.
No Gamble,
That's so
No
sick.
Future hoodie.
Love to see that, yeah.
It's
Head on
a
over to
big hit, yeah.
shop.pokergo.com. You can find yourself some No Gamble, No Future
Get
merchandise.
some swag.
A lot of swag, as well as, you know, we got some new stuff on the way. It's going to be here within a couple weeks. PGT, PokerGO Tour swag.
Oh, some PGT swag. We need some of that. Okay,
More
I
No
like it.
Gamble, No Future.
Yeah,
Wait till
nice.
you see this new design
Not having to make
for
tough
both
decisions
high
is
stakes
nice.
poker and No Gamble, No Future.
Oh,
This
yeah?
shirt that very proud of this one, Jeff.
I kept on
You
trying
gonna
to do
hook
that
me
last
up,
night,
you
but it was
know?
not
or
working.
I don't want to
broadcast
reveal
put
it. It's like a
together?
surprise.
Well,
but-
no, I don't care about the reveal. Just
Yeah,
you're going
but
to give
you'll
me
probably
Oh,
some
no,
of
no,
the shirts
you're
and
gonna have to
hoodies.
pay full
Pay full
price.
price.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
No?
Yeah.
No. Getting
Still pay
caged
full
by
price
Chewy
for
last
my
night didn't
PokerGO
feel good, actually.
subscription.
Not at all.
But if you were winning
Are
the
you
pot,
really?
Then it would have been really cool.
At least you
but
felt a part of things.
Now, what are we drinking
is
here
that?
out of the
he was
little
punching bags for like
plastic?
40 minutes straight.
He doesn't strike me as a health nut, so I don't think it's a.
The hand where I used my time extensions, there's that ace king of hearts.
I don't know what that is.
Turmeric supplement. As Lucky Chewy is check raised
Torture.
here with the backdoor draws.
Of course,
Well,
Chewy,
to
nothing but
200K.
air. Jack
I woke
4-4,
up to a text
2
that says,
spades.
I see you lost a
You
big
mentioned
hand.
the
I would love to
backdoor
understand
hearts. Just hoping to take the pot
what you
down
had-
right
what
there
had I
from the
played.
big blind. He
And I
also
was
has
like, well,
all of the
thanks,
fours
man.
in this particular spot, as Wantman did
I would
open
love
under
to
the
not
gun.
talk to you ever again if you don't mind.
And the turn brings another heart, which means flush draws for both. But not the worst of turns if you're Lucky Chewy right now. We know it's terrible.
If he continues to tell a tale and barrels here on the turn with what he believes to be equity in that flush draw, he's repping pretty much a 4 and only a 4. And how about this bet sizing? 440. Just really trying to make Wantman a believer that he has a 4.
With a little more than 2/3 pot here on the turn.
Wantman he cannot fold his hand. Top pair picks up a better flush draw. Is he worried about Chewy having a 4? Absolutely.
His hand just too good.
It's all down to the river, right? If this thing's a blank, are we going to face a decision once again for our tournament life against Lucky Chewy? Here we go. Let's see what this river brings.
Queen of Diamonds, and it's top 2 for Wantman with 1.5 million in the pot. Wantman with 1.3 million behind. Lucky Chewy check raise flop, bet big on turn. What happens on the river?
All in.
Goes for it again.
Oh my gosh. So filthy. Just saying I have a 4. Call me if you wish. It's such a hard hand to call with as well. Yeah, we've got top 2. But we also have that Jack of Hearts, right? So Lucky Chewy could not have check raised us with that sort of hand. So what was it if he was bluffing? Would he ever do it with various missed spades? All air balls, similar to what he has, 5 deuce of hearts? A filthy bluff attempt again by Lucky Chewy. Let's see if Wantman can come up with another correct call. Take over the chip lead.
His hand just a touch too good.
And there's just this, this leveling war. What a
He
wow!
folds.
Wow!
It gets through.
I was
The
just
bluff
about to
gets
say.
through.
I mean, Wantman saw the bluff, the first hand off the deck against Lucky Chewy. He had to be asking himself, would he really do it again? It would seem maniacal.
Perturbed look for flinging his cards into the muck.
Filthy stuff by Lucky
Unbelievable.
Chewy.
I think his first big bluff of the day was sick as well. Just ran into
It
it.
was,
Almost
yeah.
just ran into it once again.
I have no idea.
Chewy has regained that commanding chip lead. Almost 40% of the chips in play.
God, that was filthy.
Wow.
How often have we seen chip leaders, just try and small ball their way through a final table, try and sort of preserve that chip lead, lock up some additional money, ladder up, if you will. Not Chewy, not today. He has gone for it in 2 spots. And he is just running it over right now.
New look at the leaderboard. Andrew Lichtenberger more than 3.6 million in chips. Colpoys in second. Elias, Wantman, Ball round out this final table. Final 5 are guaranteed $61,600. Another 15K-ish pay jump from 5th to 4th.
Yeah.
Just drink some water, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I have tea and water.
Albert in the YouTube chat. People need to show Brett Hanks some respect. He's a bracelet winner with the same amount as Jason Kuhn and Jungleman Dan Cates. Well, that is true, but you didn't really show him respect because you called him Brett instead of Brent.
Well, but we won't. That's fine. It was just a finger typo error.
We've had an exciting start to the day.
Wantman just limps in here with the ace-king in the small
You
blind.
never know what poker has in store for you. The deck has a mind of its own.
It really does.
Wantman going for an absolute trap now, hoping to limp in and then jam if Elias does decide to shoot it up, which he is going to do with Queen 4.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wantman starting the hand with 30 bigs.
That's what I thought.
But then I just got dealt a bunch of big pairs.
I looked over and I was like, oh, maybe I just didn't see the purples. But,
Raises to 3.5 bigs.
yeah, I'm kind of
Darren knows that
blowing through 3, so I wasn't.
Wantman is going to limp, fold, limp, call a high percentage of the time. Very rarely will he limp re-raise all in. However,
those flips, they're important.
not this time.
Yeah. Well, one of them was an 80-20. But that was
There is the limp shove.
in general. It's nice to
Nice
win
quickly out of the way.
Not the best having to take them, but sometimes.
Jimmy Bluffin in the YouTube chat says Chewy hasn't changed in 20 years. Yeah, it seems like he's kept at this remarkable career by putting max pressure on his opponents. Going to work here. And we'll see some wild and crazy plays throughout this PokerGO Cup with the best in the world converging upon the PokerGO Studio.
You know, a lot of times I'll hear the argument about how today's high rollers and wizards and GTO players are so boring and quiet. What has failed to be recognized or never discussed are the bluff frequencies. They run the most elaborate bluffs that we have seen throughout the course of poker history.
The GTO style is crazy. It is entertaining.
It's
it is
insane.
fun. It is wild.
Those 2 hands that Lucky Chewy played are great examples of that. In fact, the better the players that you're watching from a theoretical point of view, if they do study, you're going to see more bluffing.
And more crazy kind of overbet shoves as bluffs, as value. I think the game has become more entertaining over the years. 3 ways to this flop of 7-3-3.
And give a lot of these young guns, these superstars, time, right? As they master the craft, the fine art of no limit hold'em. Along with that will come their, sort of their characters developing and understanding table talk and what we're doing here, creating poker as an entertainment product. And a lot of them will catch on and they'll start to really, take this game over away from the old guard and become this new wave.
And we see that more and more, and especially you'll see it if you walk through the PokerGO Studio throughout our day ones. The real jovial atmosphere. It's entertaining. Right. Everybody's having a good time.
It's a home game out there.
Final table, of course, becomes a little more serious. Stakes are raised a bit. Wantman has turned to 10.
Thank you guys all for tuning in on YouTube today. And I believe we're on Facebook as well.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. I don't know if that's true. Either way, show your support, thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribing if you haven't already. Who are you rooting for today? Let us know in the chat. Is it this guy, Matthew Wantman? Perhaps it's the chip leader, Lucky Chewy. Or how about Big Brisket himself, Darren Elias?
We're on Twitch as well. Perhaps plenty of support for Scott Ball. One of the Twitch Poker OGs. Takes down that pot. Looking for clubs for Lucky Chewy. He'll open here.
Very sloppy fold there by Ball. Got to do better than that.
This is event number 1 of the 2022 PokerGO Cup. We went on quite a roller coaster ride in 2021, I would say, Brent, as we take a look out into the field for event number 2, and we find our 2021 PokerGO Cup champ. That's Daniel Negroni.
There he is, Kid Poker himself. Good looking hat. Wouldn't even know that was him, honestly, with the glasses and the hat and that mask. It's hard to recognize.
Let's take you back to the 2021 PokerGO Cup and relive that run.
Make it a diamond king or a 10, diamond king or a 10. 10! I
winning the 50K, beating David Coleman heads up.
Red.
Main event against Sam
Just want
Sabril. 8 on the turn to crack Negroni's aces.
All right.
Collapses in heartbreak. And then rooting for Carrie Katz, needing a Carrie Katz win in the main, and that Katz win
All right. Drinks on me, buddy.
propelled Daniel Negroni to do this.
Drink from the cup.
That's great, huh?
Drinking out of the cup. That's beautiful. What a run it was for Kid Poker.
Really sick sweat. He had to have El Jefe win that 100K to take home the Holy Grail. He pounded beer right out of it. I don't think he's stopped drinking since.
330.
Negroni with 4 catches in the PokerGO Cup last year, an 8th, a 6th, a win, and a 4th. And Lucky Chewy continuing to apply pressure, utilizing that chip lead, 3-betting with the king deuce off in the big blind versus Elias's open.
Absolutely attacking Darren Elias in that vulnerable stack, just under 30 big blinds. Elias has a very close one for 4-betting. He fully aware that Lucky Chewy should be 3-betting quite wide and applying a ton of pressure. Does that make ace-9 good enough to just simply go with it? Do we 4-bet pre-flop and try and win the pot right now?
Or is it too tough with the stack size of Scott Ball, sitting there with just 11 bigs?
It is very difficult.
Owen.
But Elias reads right into it. The 4-bet shove gets through. Well done, Darren Elias.
Beautiful stuff by Elias. He says the heck with it. Picks his spots so well, close to perfection, has done so for a number of years.
That has got to feel good for Elias as we have raised the blinds. 25K, 50K with a 50K big blind ante. This is Elias' second cash of the PGT this year. Finished 10th at the 25K at Seminole Hard Rock in Florida. That's the event that Colpoys finished 4th in. You'll like this. I got some quality time in with Darren at the bar at Seminole Hard Rock.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, the man spends a lot of time at a bar,
Yes,
so do
he
you.
does. Yes, I do. I might have had a glass or two of tequila. Ace king for Lucky Chewy in the small blind.
This is where, you know, the tell of the tape, if these guys are aware of what Chewy has been doing thus far with his bluffing, whenever you pick up a premium, so dangerous. It's impossible to make big folds to him at this point.
Wantman will just lay down at the Jack-7 offsuit. Chew with about 3.5 million in chips. And Brent, why don't we chew on this? His first live cash in 2007, his first win in 2010. First seven-figure score came in 2014. His first bracelet came in 2016. More than $11.6 million in career live tournament earnings. That bracelet won at the 3K at the WSOP for almost $600,000.
It was right around that time in 2016. I actually did an old interview with Andrew Lichtenberger at our office here in Las Vegas, and he drives up in this sort of Harry and the Hendersons like station wagon. I mean, I'm talking straight out of the 80s.
Okay.
And he doesn't use gasoline in his car. Rather, he feeds it vegetable oil. And that's
in his car?
In his car. It's this vegetable oil station wagon. You know, so this high roller's not out there driving a Tesla or, you know, some designer beautiful automobile. He's got this. I'm not kidding. It's a, you know, a massive station wagon, and he goes to McDonald's or any fast food joint here in Las Vegas. He pulls up to the drive-thru, and he asks them if they've got any vegetable oil that they're throwing away, and he'll collect it. That's what he uses to operate his vehicle.
I was about to say, no way Chewy goes to a McDonald's, but for the vegetable
He
oil,
only
I could
goes for
see
the
it.
vegetable oil to fill up his car. That is all a true story.
Instincts.
He told me he was going to drive me out to the Grand Canyon, and we were going to take a little road trip.
Oh, you and
We've
Chewy?
yet to do it. He's probably worried I'd start drinking his supply.
Probably so. Lichtenberger does enjoy rock climbing. Maybe it was going to be an intense little climb or just a light hike. I don't know. Also plays the violin, plays chess, enjoys calligraphy.
Calligraphy?
Yeah. Did I pronounce it wrong? Handwriting?
It's with the little funky
with
metal
the-
tips.
yeah,
and
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I didn't know anybody enjoyed that.
It's enjoyable for some. Chewy told us before play started he still has such a deep passion for the game. So it's such a great metaphor for life, and he's super grateful to have found poker. And we are grateful that the 2022 season of the PokerGO Tour is underway. It features the game's most elite players competing in events with buy-ins starting at 10K. They go all the way up to 300K. For the latest news, schedule, leaderboard, check out PGT.com. Best of the best. Play on the PGT.
I have my own 2 bedrooms. He has a master. I want to be the alpha. Not that he's always got to be the alpha, you know.
He's an alpha guy. What can you do?
Give him a taste of that beta lifestyle.
He must be interesting to live with.
Yeah, I had already heard snippets from other people who had lived with him before.
He's very fit, right? He's really into fitness.
Yeah, he hasn't been working out as much though recently. He's mad.
Now the world
he's
knows.
down on himself.
Oh,
Right.
Wait,
But,
why is he down?
No, you know how He's always like doing his propaganda.
If I will, yeah. Sure, I will.
So, and I have to listen to a lot of dogs.
That's a lot,
playing this
yeah.
stuff on his computer.
Yeah.
Like,
I went on a hike with him and a couple others.
I
Probably
like
2
him.
years ago at this point, but it was fun.
yeah.
I like him, but I can't deal with him nonstop, like having to listen to conspiracy.
Up a little bit, you know. Still has his opinions, but
Time heals all things, right?
Good question
Did you
from
see
Albert in the YouTube chat.
did you
Brent,
see
I'll
the
direct
new
this
edit
your
to
way.
Mr. Alex's Wikipedia page.
Oh,
no, I heard about it though.
what would you place the
Someone
odds on
messing
Negroni winning the PokerGO Cup at?
It's too easy to like change Wikipedia pages.
Well, I mean,
Go back to back and win it again. I'd
Yeah.
say he's about 20%.
20%?
Yeah.
So like in that
They give
4 to
him a
1, 5 to
big
1
favorite,
territory.
big favorite,
Wow.
yeah.
ooh,
It must be.
you were getting called.
I'm trying to tune into this conversation, Jeff. Who are we talking about here?
I've heard of StormX. I think it's like something in like the
Well, StormX is PokerGo's
Esports, like,
exclusive
arena, I think.
cryptocurrency partner.
Could
As
be
we take a
wrong.
look at the highlights for the PGT,
has been
our
wrong before.
High Roller Tour, 10K buy-ins or more,
Am I allowed to have my phone up?
events across the world.
You're about to get DQ'd.
And our overall points champ will have a
That'd be a
shot
wild
at a big bonus.
disqualification.
Oh, it's massive.
Payday.
It's a $500,000
DQ chips go to
free
the
roll
person
at the
left.
end of the year. The top 6
Unlucky.
will
It's a
qualify.
long shot for sure. The only civilized way to do this. Oh, sorry.
So there's going to be one hell of a competition amongst these high rollers to land in the top 6 in order to play right here in our studio in the PokerGO Tour Championship, the PGT Championship event in December of 2022.
Elias has ace-9 off again when it's Chewy's big blind. Lichtenberger just defends here and flops top pair. Elias does have the ace of clubs.
It's like it's pictures on there and everything.
We've seen
I think
more
that's the
and
only part.
more some leads
I think that's the only part
from
that's
the
wrong.
big blind on these kinds of
I
flops.
mean, it's kind of accurate.
It really is.
Like, you can't have so many factors.
This one is pretty interesting. It's making
I mean,
top
at least in
pair.
a way.
It's got that jack of clubs
Yeah.
as well.
We love him.
Elias
love to
is
know who did that,
a
though.
non-believer.
It's
2
very funny.
overs, ace of clubs in his hand. He's going to come along for the ride.
Turn brings 7 of spades.
Yo, I think you think you're getting paid back because I'm at the FT, but now that you wrote that, you're not getting paid back. You were going to.
Chewy has to
Like
believe that
1.6.
his hand is best. If he doesn't think that Elias is opening a lot of suited connectors here, which could be the case. I'm not sure Darren would pass on something like 5-6 suited, 7-8 suited. He's going to fire twice, take this thing down. Walter Jacobson says, LOL, defending Jack 6 off. More like luck box, Chewy. Yeah, you might
Yeah,
want to
but
study up, Walter. When you're the chip leader, you can defend quite wide, put your opponents in jail post-flop. It's not all about the cards, buddy.
If you want to be the alpha, you got to follow the action, bro.
It's hard. It's tough. You're right, though.
There's other things going on. We don't concern ourselves with other things. All right.
Raise and take it for Lucky
Lucky
Chewy.
Spewy.
Yeet says, where is
no,
this
that's
being
not-
held currently? This is at the PokerGo
Sometimes.
Studio in Las Vegas, Nevada. Part of the Ario Resort and Casino.
When comes Jack 4-4 and you have all the fours, you are right.
Right?
Even hit you with the 440. 440 on
Oh
it.
my God.
I know.
Mind trick.
That.
I was saying,
Oh my God.
he's into
Jedi
that
mind trick.
universal shit, so I thought for
now
sure
he
that's what was going on.
I need the 1K
Yeah, you
chips.
definitely did.
Yeah, the 4-4-4. You would have definitely done it.
I'm all in.
I had the boat blockers, all of them.
You have the boat blockers.
Say a
By
jack
the
9.
river. By the river.
You have Queen Jack?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You bluff me?
He didn't have queen jack.
Oh, wow.
Wow, you bluff me.
He says, oh, wow.
God damn it.
There's the reveal.
I mean, any 4 is obviously worth playing for stacks, but I didn't have it.
You didn't.
He had 8-10. Don't worry, you're good.
It's a good bluff.
Was a good
Sometimes the
bluff.
spots come.
The beauty is,
Can't help myself.
Make a straight blocker by the river.
oh my God, just the straight fuck you, huh? Not even a king in there? Not even a king 3?
Stone, fuck you.
No.
Oh my God, good lord.
I mean,
No, he had 5 high.
just have a jack a lot, right? It's the most common hand.
The beauty is we're gonna be able
I
to
didn't have
see it.
spades.
Wantman
Wow,
didn't
the
have a
man
spade
had
in
5,
his
6 of
hand.
hearts and just said fuck it.
That's very close.
He's 3 diamonds for Lichtenberger.
And Elias now, queen jack off. Yeah, he throws it into the muck. I was real curious to see what he would decide to do there with that 30 big blind stack. Knowing Scott Ball there in the big blind was so short, he's just going to stay out of harm's way. Not going to fight for the pot. Albert Graham, YouTube, says, Brent, you still own your bracelet or did you sell it? If so, how much did you get for it? Well, Albert,
Good question.
I don't have my bracelet, but I didn't sell it. I gave it to my dad for Father's Day a couple weeks later after I won it. He may have sold it.
You don't know where it is right now.
I have not
do you?
seen the bracelet since.
Oh.
They lost it.
Oh, no.
My parents lost the bracelet.
How do you
which
lose
is-
the bracelet? It's
I
gotta
don't
be
know.
somewhere.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, you'll have to go win another one.
Well, that was 10 years ago. I've been trying ever
Yeah.
since. 6 final tables, only 1 bracelet.
You had a good series this year, though, this past year.
Not really, Jeff. No,
No, you didn't.
Not a good series. No.
I know.
Everyone
No.
knows.
Not one of your best.
Was he getting called again?
Yeah, it was ace-10. It wasn't as good that time, but
Not
made-
one of my worst.
You made day 2 of the main.
I did make
Yeah,
day 2
nice.
of the main, yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
Very well done.
You and I were supposed to win the tag
Yeah,
team
we should have
event,
won
but
the damn tag team event.
You blew it with
I blew it. I
2
choked.
tables left.
3.
3 tables left.
Should have known he had aces.
How dare you
Just
get
fold the
kings?
So I was so excited in the moment, too, because we had a lot of chips, and we were about to have a lot more.
Oh, we were about to have a party.
Yeah, and then we just lost.
I was planning the party on the rail,
Yeah.
you know, locking it up for sure. Final table. Oh, nothing can stop us. Well, speaking of a party, Scott Ball might be having a pity party in a moment. If he goes with King 10 here, absolutely
Well,
going to get called.
Yeah, with 9 bigs, it all goes into the middle.
And this is for value. Scott really believes that King 10 can be the best hand against what Elias's opening range is. And he is going to be up against one of the worst hands he can be up against, being dominated here.
It's like 450.
I think it's like 460-ish, I think. 2, 3.
Elias does make the call, and here we go.
Oof, not good for me.
Accurate assessment by Scott Ball. He's all in and at risk with King 10 against Ace 10. Ball going to need some help to avoid a 5th place finish.
no. Well, no. The flip-flop. One live one.
Yeah, but they're removed.
You said you've been hurting on straight out, so I just
It's a flop. Queen 9-6. Gut shot now for Paul. Could pick up a jack or a king.
That's an exciting flop. I'll take that. That's fun.
Not bad.
Fun enough. The turn, the 7, bringing some chop outs into the equation. If an 8 lands on the river, ball needs a king or a jack to win outright. River card. It's the deuce of clubs.
Good luck, everybody. Take care.
Good game, Scott.
That does it for Scott Ball.
Pleasure.
Out in 5th for $61,600, and Brent 62 points in that race for the PokerGO Cup.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll see quite a bit of Scott Ball in a lot of our PGT events.
They're probably not going to let us
And a
do
heck
it
of a
next
2021 at the World Series,
No, no,
Jeff,
no.
as you
We're
pointed
talking
out.
about
2
this.
bracelets,
Not
won a pile of money.
They'll
Loves
probably do
playing
something on
inside the
breaks in
studio.
like 20 minutes, but until then, probably
Not a bad showing for Mr. Ball.
I thought as well.
And then there were 4 after Ball's elimination, all guaranteed $77,000.
There, here, there.
23K pay jump from 4th to 3rd.
I don't fucking know.
As Elias moves over the 2 million chip mark. Lichtenberger, Colpoys, Elias, Wantman, our final 4. And pretty deep. Almost 200 bigs on the table. Wantman the shortest stack, but still with 30 bigs. Lichtenberger looks down at 1 king and then another in the small blind. Colpoys starting the hand with 45 bigs.
This is a brutal dynamic, knowing that Lucky Chewy should be 3-betting quite wide, attacking our opens. If I'm Colpoys with ace-10 off, I am just sick to my stomach right now on what I have to do with this hand. I wouldn't fault him for putting up a fight, even coming with some sort of small 4-bet in hopes of taking it down. There's a chance he considers shoving here for 45 bigs, saying enough is enough. He's heard about the bluffs. He's probably seen the tape at this point.
675.
There it
and
is.
There's the small 4-bet to 675,000.
All those bluffs just pays off, right? You finally get the premium. You set this spot up. Lucky Chewy is loving life right now. He understands the metagame, the warfare.
Time bank used for an additional 30 seconds to act. How does Lichtenberger proceed with 2 kings?
Really trying to sell it. Perfectly still, uses the time bank. Look at Colpoys, left of your screen, just studying him. I was thinking, come on, man.
990.
Oh, no.
The min click.
Ooh, whoops. Yes, son.
Thank you.
Clicks it back to 990,000.
And an instant fold by Colpoys. I mean, he had his mind made up. His plan was, okay, I'm going to 4-bet. And I think the frequency to 5-bet is quite low, even for a sicko like Lucky Chewy. Throw it in the muck.
And that sicko now has more than 4.5 million in chips. And a pretty significant drop-off before we find the stack sizes of Darren Elias, a Daniel Colpoys, and a Matthew Wantman. Chewy's in prime position to go pedal to the metal and run away with this thing.
Certainly is. And that bluff he ran earlier in the show with just 5 high against Matthew Wantman, my goodness. If that got picked off, Jeff, who knows? He could already be out of here. He kept the pedal down in his vegetable oil gassed up station wagon, and he just kept on cruising.
Elias with King Jack of Hearts in the big, facing an open from Chewy. Jack in the window, Jack 7-6, 1 heart. Top pair in the backdoor flush draw for Elias. Little piece for Lichtenberger.
Just a little taste, and the texture's good enough for him to want to continue, even with bottom pair. Hopes to win it right here in the event that he is called. Has to feel pretty good about an additional 6 or a possible ace. Could be up against various draws. I'm more curious about Darren Elias here. What are we doing with top pair? Good kicker, King Jack suited, backdoor hearts. He's just going to set the call. Sort of a trap from his point of view.
Eight of spades on the turn.
Not the best ticket for either player, as you see both of them shut it down, check, check.
River delivers top 2 pair to Darren Elias. $435K in this pot.
Gonna toss this thing in the smoker, set it at about 350, just let it marinate for a while and just cook. How much do we bet? Hoping to get called by a 7, a 6, maybe some sort of turned 8. Problem is, I can't find a single draw that is missed. Whether it be 9-10, 8-9 would have made a pair. Lichtenberger has a very bad hand to consider calling with on the river.
Oh, the blocker sizing by Elias on the river, which is kind of cool. Bet 75K.
He's just hoping to induce. He wants Lichtenberger to turn his hand into a bluff. And you can see the face, right?
Wants him to think I have a 7 or I have an 8 here. I'm just trying to block.
Yeah, yeah. But you can see Lucky Chewy, too, also trying to figure out, okay, what would he do this with? Can I even call?
He will make the call. He'll see the kings and jacks for Elias. But if Chewy had like an ace-5 or an ace-9, maybe he goes a little more ham there.
He might.
On the river. Elias had 1 win and 8 cashes last year on the PGT, which is in full swing this year. And there's a look at one Yo Viral, Johan Guibert. Good to see him back in the PokerGO studio.
Absolute grinder, a maniac when it comes to poker. He was just playing cash in the Czech Republic about 48 hours ago, live stream games, and now he's here in Las Vegas inside our studio competing for the Cup.
Czech Republic, where he finished 2nd in the World Series of Poker Europe main event.
Yeah.
You got to cover that one.
Right around there, yeah.
You all right, buddy?
What was
I heard
that?
that
What
scream.
happened? A guttural scream.
Good question from Yeet Noyce. You think all these guys play GTO or what? I would say yes to an extent. I think some are a little bit more studied than others as far as game theory is concerned. I think you're going to see a lot of people with their own variation of what they believe GTO is, how to employ it. Combination of exploitative play as well as sound theory.
Speaking of GTO, Brent, can we put the pressure on Phil Hellmuth starting now to show up at a PokerGO Cup
I think we oughta.
event?
I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous that the guy, claims to be the best tournament player in the world, but he doesn't even really compete in any of the PGT high rollers, which I mean, we know this is the cream of the crop.
This is where the
best players come to play and compete every single month in the biggest buy-in events across the world. Now, if we want to say that Hellmuth is the greatest World Series of poker player in the history of the game, well, there's no question about it. I just think if you're going to talk the talk all the time, you got to come in here and walk that walk, man.
So y'all be sure to tweet Hellmuth. Tell him we asked for it. You all are asking for it. We want him in the mix.
I mean, Daniel Negroni's here, right? I mean, he's out here playing. He's competing. He's put in a lot of work under the hood, harnessing the engine, trying to do what it takes to beat the best. I mean, hell, he's the defending champion at the PokerGO Cup. We know he plays at an extremely high level. I don't know, chat. What do you guys think? Is Hellmuth the GOAT or not the GOAT? Let us know in the chat. If you think he's the GOAT, well, let's see it. Type it in. Show me some GOAT emoji, whatever those things are.
Well, they're probably just emojis of a goat.
Exactly, Jeff.
Lichtenberger finds just a hint of value. The answer is no. Poker items for every poker enthusiast can be found in the PokerGO shop.
Oh, yeah.
Head on over to shop.pokergo.com to check out our collection of shirts, of hoodies, of hats, and even exclusive memorabilia items. Shop now at shop.pokergo.com. Cruising down the strip.
A lot of people do believe Hellmuth is the greatest tournament player in the world right now, judging by the chat. There's a lot of folks on the fence, I believe. It's always so hard, you know, who's the greatest poker player right now? I think 1 Minute Home just said a guy that certainly towards the top of my list, Michael Adamo.
Yeah.
Hard to deny him. I think Jason Kuhn's got to be in the conversation.
Did you see his other stack of
A lot of great
25?
players. You know, the variants, they come and go as far as results are concerned. I mean, how about the Phenom Ali Mshurovich, the defending player of the year on the PokerGO Tour? He had a year that we may never really come to see again as far as results, Jeff. I think it was 14 victories.
14 wins. Nobody else had more than 6.
I mean, that's just
I
unthinkable.
just felt like saying something.
We got to get in this guy's head, huh?
Me? It's a fucking tough.
Come on in.
It's a tough place to be. Well, I thought you were talking about my head. His head? His head, I don't know. It's wild shit going on up there for sure.
Undoubtedly.
I saw some of those sessions where you're just in there and your video camera right in your face. Hair flying everywhere. So you had some good lettuce going there.
I did.
That was nice.
It was a fun phase. I learned a lot.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Lucky Chewy really let the hair go for a while, for a couple years.
I mean, I like drugs.
That is what he looked like when he had that long hair and the beard.
Inwardly, not outwardly.
When he rolled up in that vegetable oil car.
I don't know.
I mean, the guy was probably worth, you know, easy 7, hell, maybe 8 figures, and he's
never like full on
rolling around like he's a
off the grid.
You know, he's homeless.
Yeah.
So
or living in the wagon.
Pretty nice.
I was never off the grid, but I was fairly isolated for a while.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd like that, but I think I'd like cruising around for a while, like a couple friends and a dog or two.
Now, if you got to pick 4 for Mount Rushmore when it comes to poker, I'm going to go off of sort of an incredible one in the chat. The Mount Rushmore would have to put Phil on it, no question.
I agree with that.
And I think that no one would disagree with that. You know, the question is, who are the other 3? Who are you putting up there as the 4 greatest of all time?
And Doyle is just another absolute stone cold
Seems
lock,
like Doyle's
right?
a lock. I mean, how do you not put Daniel Negroni on there?
Yeah.
So there's 3 of your 4. Who's that 4th player? Is it Ivy? Is it Seidel?
It could be Chip Reese.
Is it Chip? Is it one of the
Stu
new
Unger?
age guys?
Is it
I mean, is it Darren Elias, the all-time winningest player on the World Poker Tour?
No.
Probably not.
I love Darren Elias, but he's not up to top 4 category yet. Although, to your point, 4 WPT main titles is pretty strong.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, that 4th one is always sort of a toss-up. You know, if it's me, I'm giving it to Ivy.
Yeah. I really might go Seidel.
I wouldn't blame you. I mean, it's very, very close. Gareth Nagel says a European, maybe. Okay, who? Who?
Yeah.
What European? I mean, yeah, who?
And then Noisauce says Jerry Yang, so that might be the right pick.
There you go.
The
Yeah.
people's champ.
Good conversation. I'm loving this in the chat. How about IBM says, what about Esfandiari? You know what? No. He doesn't play anymore. Didn't even come out for the World Series this year. Not that I blame him. It was kind of a tough one, but doesn't play any of our events anymore with the exception of maybe the Super High Roller Bowl. And I don't blame him. Antonio's got a family. He's focused on his family. He's got his own cushy sort of cash game scene going on over there. I just saw him courtside at a Lakers game where Russell Westbrook gave his son his shoes.
Pretty
that was just
incredible.
this week. I think as far as the poker life and lifestyle, Antonio Esfandiari might be right at the top of that list.
Sure.
Michael.
Colpoys, nice call there with the 7s.
Incredible One says, how about Chidwick for European? I'll tell you what, that might be the best of the bunch that I would consider. But
maybe in another 5 years he's there.
Right, I think he's on his way, but you can't put him on the Mount Rushmore of poker right now, not in this moment.
And same can be said with Adamo. If he keeps up this tear that he's on for years,
right?
Sure.
Now, if you did, if you separate it, let's say you can only use the modern era or modern day players. So 2000, let's say 2010 and beyond.
So Negroni would still be on there.
I think Negroni can certainly hold on there, although he's only got a few victories on the belt.
Exciting.
But I think a case could be made for, for a Chidwick or an Ali Mshurovich, Michael Adamo, the Jason Kuhn.
Kuhn might get there just based on overall success, tournaments, and cash games.
You got all the checkbacks in the world,
like
buddy.
that? I like that too. It's nice.
Solid.
Goes check on flop here. Turn is the Jack of Hearts, straight draw and flush draw for Colpoys.
Yeah,
Chewy has the
beautiful.
Broadway draw, king high.
Beautiful turn card to be able to barrel with. Plenty of equity. A lot of times you just pick it up right here if you're Colpoys. When called, you've got infinite outs. And a sticky call by Lichtenberger. Just king high.
Which is good right here.
And not a great river for Colpoys. Chewy should have really all the jacks in this spot.
Ewan, I think. Yeah, rough.
It wasn't a great bluff candidate there.
It wasn't, and it's a really hard card for Colpoys to try and tell a story that's believable. What jack does he have?
Almost half the chips in play for that man, Lucky Chewy, Andrew Lichtenberger. More than $11.6 million in career live tournament earnings. He wrote The Yoga of Poker.
Yeah, I've read that.
Yeah.
She gave it to me as a gift, and in part of that book, I don't think I'm going to tell it 100% correct, but long story short, if you go check out his book, Yoga of Poker, he was given a deck of cards face down, and I believe he was able to somehow, he was so zenned out and meditated in whatever universe he was living in, he knew the card face down, said it, the card and the suit picked it up, flipped it over, and it was correct. Somehow, he was able to just see the cards. Now, I don't know if I believe it, Jeff, but it's in the book. Go find it.
Well, that would make poker a lot easier.
Exactly. You know, whatever edibles he was on, I want a batch.
Okay, this time I can't see that. Okay, thanks.
Can I mute this? Yeah. We're just going to be on break.
Pair of threes and the flush draw for
Can I
Wantman.
mute this?
Pretty huge flop for Wantman. Pair and a flush draw. Elias, certainly don't fault him for betting pocket sevens here. Should have all the aces for the most part. Able to continue. Gets through Lucky Chewy, who nobody home with King Jack suited. However, it's the King 3 of puppy paws that has got himself a hammer of a hand. Maybe good enough to just play for stacks. But $500,000 in the middle already, and Wantman looking to do just that.
The check raised to $450,000.
And Darren, you can see the the glare of the eyeballs, wondering what do you have? Could it be the 3x of club combo? I'm coin flip against that. Could it just be two pair? I'm dead against all two pairs. Nice raise by Wantman, gets it done. Frustrating fold for Elias. He's okay, still about 2.1 million.
Everybody chasing Lucky Chewy, Andrew Lichtenberger. Some more stacks for Colpoys and Wantman. That wraps up this level, and that sends our players off on break. It'll be a quick break. Before we go on break, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard. Lucky Chewy's name on top with almost 4.5 million in chips. Darren Elias a bit more than 2 million. Dan Colpoys at about 1.5. Matt Wantman also at about 1.5. Brent, your impression from the first hour and a half of play?
Oh, it's been all Lucky Chewy, and it really nothing lucky about it. The whole skill set on full display. What a show we're seeing. Keep an eye out for Darren Elias, big brisket. He's on the come up. Colpoys, awfully talented, and you can never count out short stack, Mr. Matthew Wantman.
And we're staying on YouTube for the good people, right?
Yeah, we're going to stay. We're going to stick around. Whole thing's going to be free today. Event number 1. Don't go anywhere. We are coming back soon.
77 entries for this one, more than $200,000 up top, while event number 2 is going on at the PokerGO Studio. We'll be sure to keep you posted on that one. But our final table coverage continues of event number 1 of the PokerGO Cup in about 4 or 5 minutes. Here are some highlights from Daniel Negroni's 2021 PokerGO Cup run.
Diamond, diamond, 10, king, diamond.
Lots
One of those
more
freaking
outs
things.
now.
Come on. Do this to me, please. Just please. Please, Jing. Just please. Come on. Make it a diamond, king, or a 10.
He's lost too many of these. Is it there?
10.
Yes!
Oh, wow.
I freaking won. Good game, buddy. Oh, my God.
He did it.
You too, man. You're awesome. I won. I came in first. Oh, my goodness. I have aces, and Sam has 8s.
I'm dead as always.
I don't know.
You heard Sam say, I have to try to bust you.
On him I got a good shot at everything.
Yes, you do.
That was a good fold.
As if
fold
Sovrel
you.
wants to win the overall title.
Wow.
Oh my God.
He needs Negroni not to finich third or better.
Just want red.
Red.
Oh my goodness!
You all right?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna die. It's so
The
painful.
aces look
Damn.
like a lock on
All
the
right.
2 6s and a jack flop,
I
and
guess
then
I
the
could hit
8
an ace,
on the
right?
turn.
Wow.
Fell from my
Diamond.
Oh, please.
Dealing a physical blow to Daniel, knocking him out of his
Good
seat,
hand.
and no ace on
Now
the
you're gonna
river.
win it, and you're gonna win the cup and everything.
Hopefully.
Negroni has gone from wine to beer.
And gone from sitting down at his own table to standing up.
Can his 10-9 improve? It certainly can't.
All right. Hold, baby, hold. El Jefe.
Turn doesn't produce it, and Katz just 1 card away from the title in event number 8. And Negroni 1 card away from being the overall series champion and $50,000 richer. The deuce of spades seals Sovrel's fate as the runner-up.
We're going to interview. If you can stand it. If you can stand it.
Thank you, El Jefe.
Congratulations, Carrie. Sovrel not interested in sticking
Do I
around.
get? Do I get 25K of it?
All right. Drinks on me, buddy. Good job. I'm drinking.
Daniel Negroni, you have won the inaugural PokerGO Cup. This trophy is yours. You can hoist it in the air, do whatever you would like with it.
We're gonna pour some beer in that one. All right. First drink from the cup. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never rooted for a billionaire to win $1 million more than I did just now for my man Kerry Katz, and I'm gonna drink to my man Kerry. Thank you very much. It tastes so good out of this. It's nice and cooling. I'm ecstatic. Obviously, I was annoyed to lose with the aces, but you know, kudos to Kerry because Kerry comes into these things with the mentality of winning. You know, he gets a reputation as a guy who inches his way in. But the fact that he, on the bubble, called with ace-jack of hearts, right? A lot of people might say, well, maybe he's supposed to fold that. But Kerry's going for the win, and I got to say I appreciate it.
Do you consider this a breakthrough moment in your career?
Well, I think it's a nice cap to just the run that I've been on. And I want to shout out to my wife, Amanda, who's been with me, like, through it all. Like, she feels it, you know? She feels when I come home and I tell her, aces against eights or whatever, and I know she's there with me, my ride or die. So to her, she likes when I have beer breath too. It's a thing. So I'm gonna drink this up for her.
We've talked a lot about confidence over this last year. How did you always make sure that that did not waver, no matter how bad you ran?
Well, you know, when you've been playing poker as long as I have, right? You just focus on like the decisions in the hands that you played, right? And if you feel good about them, and you know you're losing in all ins or flips, I felt really confident that my game was getting better and better and better and better, and the results were not there. Luckily, I'm a resilient dude, and I was able to hang tough, but it was tough. Like, Kerry had to hold me up. When the 8 hit the turn, like, I was almost on the ground.
I bet that beer tastes extra special. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, there it is. Daniel Negroni, the winner of the inaugural PokerGO Cup. Kerry Katz, the winner of the main event. Ali?
Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, back to the PokerGO Studio, and back to the 2022 PokerGO Cup. It's final table coverage of event number 1. 4 players remain, all guaranteed $77,000. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks, and Brent, it's the Lucky Chewy Show.
Yeah, chip lead coming in. Maintained that chip lead thus far, despite a little volatility. Has run some huge bluffs. Love to see it. See if we can keep this thing going. Take it down.
We're at 30K, 60K with a 60K big blind ante. Almost 160 bigs on the table. Almost half the chips in play for Lichtenberger.
Probably because of the card reader.
Yeah, but they all work.
We've introduced
Like,
that
one would be
yellow
my spot, one would
Bumblebee
be Scott's spot.
100K
Yeah,
chip
your
into
spot.
play. Lucky Chewy will use one of those to raise it up with the ace-10.
Doesn't matter all that much.
And if you're just tuning in, make sure, guys, you do subscribe to our PokerGO YouTube channel. Trying to get to 225,000 followers. We are so close. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you click that thumbs up as well. We have a goal. We want to hit 500 likes every single stream. You do that, we're going to come back every single day.
That works. Okay, 500
for the
likes.
PokerGO Cup. We get to 500 likes. So start clicking that thumbs up now. We're going to bring you these free streams every single day here during the PokerGO Cup.
Chewy opens with King 9 of diamonds, Colpoys with 2 jacks in the big blind. Starting this hand with about 25 bigs.
$345.
3-bet to 345K. Lichtenberger makes the call. Decent sized pot developing. 780K in that pot. Colpoys 1.1 million behind. It's ace deuce.
Colpoys just has a knack for getting pocket jacks.
Had it a few times yesterday to end day one.
He's in a really tough spot. What hands would Lucky Chewy raise and then call a significant 3-bet with? There certainly are ace-X varieties you have to be worried about, but there's also plenty of, you know, king-queen suited, queen-jack suited, jack-10 suited. You're blocking various hands when you've got 2 jacks, of course.
Colpoys going very small here, bets 80K and just wins.
This is the best hand in all of the poker. Take one guess.
The best hand?
Yes.
Pocket aces?
No. Think about it.
It's jacks.
What was it?
For you.
Jacks.
It's always
It
jacks.
certainly is.
Always jacks for.
Some people
Yeah,
say it's tough to
Colpoys.
play. I thoroughly disagree.
Eliminated Mike Lang with those jacks. Wantman with the ace deuce of hearts. Colpoys doubled through Shannon Shore late last night with those jacks and eliminated Shannon Shore with those jacks.
Yeah.
Shore finished in 7th. $38,500. Lichtenberger with 7s here in the big.
Wantman started the hand with 24 bigs. Wow, I fully expected Chewy to maybe apply max pressure there and play for it all. Instead, he's just going to take a flop with a couple of hockey sticks. Let's go skating.
Oh, and flops a set of 7s while Wantman flops a pair of aces.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how he does it. Had he moved in pre-flop, Wantman would have simply folded ace-deuce suited. By electing to call, a disastrous flop for Wantman. And pure gold for Lucky Chewy.
Brewer.
How to proceed. Wantman fires 90K.
Think about the history thus far.
Yeah.
The 2 massive bluffs that Chewy has already run against Wantman.
Out of the big blind to check raising on flop both times.
It's mind-bending to consider the dynamic. Wantman, of course, inside the blender all day long up against Chewy, and now again facing, as Jeff, you just pointed out, another check raise. And this time he is essentially stone dead. Gonna need a miracle.
Now 850,000 in the middle, Wantman with 1.1 million behind. And it's quad sevens for Lucky Chewy.
Also, the backdoor diamonds, right? If Chewy did have some sort of ridiculous bluff up his sleeve, could it be of the diamond variety? Would he ever check raise the Jack 10 of diamonds or the Queen 10 of diamonds? It would have been a gut shot on the flop. He now would have turned the flush draw. It's so hard for Wantman to really think that Lichtenberger can have even a 7. Why would he check raise the flop with some sort of 7? This is a disaster for Matthew Wantman. I don't think he can get away from this hand. I'd be shocked.
Chewy leading here about quarter pot, 210,000.
Wantman now is just questioning, okay, he's representing again another big hand. It would almost have to be ace-7 or king-7 that he'd have to be concerned about.
Makes the call. River's the 3 of diamonds. Wantman with 875,000 behind.
And it is, the fact that it is a diamond could potentially bail out Wantman. For those hands I mentioned just a moment ago, could it have been Queen 10 of diamonds, Jack 10 of diamonds?
All in.
And Wantman is put to the test again. Three times now Chewy has taken this line against Wantman. The check raise out of the big blind. Leading turn, shoving river. Both previous times were on bluffs, which Wantman knows by now. This time it's with quads.
Ay, ay, ay. Actually be sick if you bluff me again. Like sick to my stomach.
I mean, it's like Wantman wants to fold. He just doesn't think it's possible that Chewy can bluff 3 times in a row like this. Well, he's right. He's not bluffing.
Oh, you're sick.
Absolute nuts.
Just hurts to know Lichtenberger is so capable of running another huge bluff.
Well, the good news for Wantman, there just aren't too many air balls home here.
Finds the fold. Nice laydown.
Show the bluff.
Dude, you know how good for the game that would be if you had one there?
It would be good.
Just windmill like the Jack 10 of spades. Better yet, the 8-9 of spades.
Wantman has been tortured by Lichtenberger all day. Lucky Chewy now with more than half of the chips in play.
But what a clinic today by Lichtenberger.
Probably should.
Me and Darren just look at each other when you get jammed on the river, just like, it's,
You gonna go again?
yeah, it's like fucking Christ. This is like
Deja vu.
this is kind of how I expected it to go for me today. Just me being like, what the fuck? It's been relatively uneventful for me.
Right, Colpoys thinking with Lichtenberger on his direct left that he was going to be the one tortured throughout play. Instead, it's Wantman as we take a look at the chip denominations. Blue chips worth 5K, purples 25,000 apiece. Bumblebees are 100Ks.
Here we go, Jeff. Pay attention. Your favorite hand.
It's not my favorite hand. But with the 6-9 off, Lichtenberger raises to 140K and wins.
I'm curious, Jeff, do you have a favorite hand? And while you're thinking about it,
well,
chat.
I've already thought about it. It's aces.
Well, I'll get back to
okay,
Jeff.
It's just aces.
Jeff.
Yeah, but go ahead with the bet.
Just keep thinking about it.
Okay,
Chat,
I've already.
Please tell me your favorite hand. Jeff's is aces because, well, he's boring.
That's true.
I would like to know what your favorite hand is in the chat. Let me know. Type it in there. I have a favorite hand. I'm not going to tell you yet.
And it's deuces.
Jeff.
It's deuces.
There's
We've worked together for
an element
3
where
years
we
by
don't
now.
spoil.
Do you think everybody was on their edge of their seat?
We might have a brand new viewer just wondering what this crazy idiot is talking about with his favorite hand. Meanwhile, back to the not so crazy idiot. Back to the mad genius. We
don't got to worry about this one.
Okay, never mind. Moving on.
Okay, let's see. Jack 10 suited, aces, Jack 5 of diamonds. That's specific. Ace King. My left one. That's good by Jeremy. That's his favorite hand. Well
That's
played.
a good hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Queen 8 won his first MTT with it. Queen 8 offsuit. Ryan Paris.
Maybe not here, but you've seen it before.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Queen
Two,
4
loves and hates sevens.
The bearded lady. I don't get that.
3-wide table it goes.
3-4 offsuit. We saw that at the World Series of Poker main event on full display, right? No, that was 3 deuce.
2-3. The,
the
big
diaper.
rig and the diaper. Got to get that guy back on a show.
Absolutely.
Riggsy. Or
Saw
Briggsy.
him on Instagram hitting some slot jackpots with his buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
So that main event money's gone.
Yeah, absolutely is. They didn't show the losing sessions, which was weird. Wantman rips it with the Queen Jack.
It's 9, right?
Less.
More than 8.
Nope.
725.
More than 10.
I can't call that either.
12 big, still a bit too much. Got the 10-8 off, 8-6 of hearts, the 6-9 suited.
Kurt Adler's got two favorite hands, King 9 and 10 deuce. You can't have two.
Can't have two.
You can only have one. And mine is pocket deuces. I like the black ones.
It's the deuces
Spade in the
for
club
you.
variety.
Taking a look at the overview for the PokerGO Cup. 8 tournaments, buy-ins ranging from 10K to $100,000. We keep a leaderboard based on PokerGO Tour points. Most points at the end of the series wins 50K and wins the cup. Daniel Negroni looking to defend that cup. Daniel
Don't forget what you
Colpoys
said. I deserve all the check backs.
looking to start off the
What'd you
series
say?
with the W.
You told me earlier I get all the check backs.
Okay. True.
Yes.
Might have talked Chewy into a check. The 8-4 in the big.
You know, I bet Chewy has a mean garden. I could see him out there, you know, watering the herbs and tending the tomatoes.
Close.
If anyone's got an amazing garden here in Las Vegas, it is Chewy.
Could see that, yeah.
You have any fresh vegetables or fruits at your house? You have a garden of any sorts?
The little backyard. I wouldn't really call it a garden, but there are some plants in there. You got a backyard. You have a huge backyard. Very rich.
Yeah. I haven't really started growing anything yet, but I I plan on it.
Sean Perry walks in and then walks out of the PokerGO studio.
Probably
Stephen
saw
Chidwick
someone
walks in.
Scared him. Credible One said that Chewy has a pepper garden. I believe it. It sounds right up Chewy's alley.
A little bit. I think I would have won.
Subwoofer videos. Is this live or a rerun? Well, we're live, man.
We're live, baby.
As live as it gets.
Which is entirely possible.
Make sure you click that thumbs up, guys. We got to get to 500. If we're coming back for streams all week, we need 500 likes every single show at a minimum. Click that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Jeff and I will be here every single day for about a week.
And then we have to leave? Cup's 8 events.
I said about.
Oh.
That can be longer, right?
130.
We're not going anywhere.
Okay, good.
We have nowhere to go.
That's true. We've just been chilling here since Stairway to Millions. Colpoys makes it 130. Lichtenberger looks down at ace-10 in the small blind.
You're playing like 1.8?
Roughly, yeah.
And again, Colpoys with a hand on the button that should be strong enough to open.
Ooh, Wantman, good timing.
And how does Chewy do it? He doesn't 3-bet ace-10. He just calls. And perhaps by just calling, he's avoided playing an all-in pot here against 2 10s of Matthew Wantman.
10 seconds.
There is that shove with the 10s.
It's like 940.
Really is considering
More.
ace-9. He doesn't give Lucky Chewy a lot of credit by just flatting from the small blind. I have to love how balanced Lichtenberger is with that ace-10. He thinks that Wantman can be quite light here, just trying to squeeze. Would he do it with a worse ace? Would he do it with a hand like King-Jack, King-Queen, Queen-Jack suited? Absolutely.
Time extension used for an additional 30 seconds to act.
$9.35, correct?
Yeah.
This is very close for Chewy. For the reasons I mentioned above, can Wantman have a worse ace in this spot? Various Broadway holdings, small pairs. Obviously, we can see that Lichtenberger's in a ton of trouble if he does make the call. Wow.
He does not.
That's a great fold. It really is.
That saved you.
I mean, that was perfection for Lucky Chewy by just calling pre-flop
Probably didn't. Probably cost me.
rather than 3-betting. And then making the correct fold after what looked like a possible squeeze by Wantman.
No, I don't think either roto was.
That's brilliant.
I assume Mr. Andrew did not.
Set out into the field. And check in on event number 2, another $10,000 buy-in. And there is our chip leader, Chance Corneth.
Doing it again, huh?
Almost 300K already.
What a stairway to millions he had. He's back for more at the Cup.
Back-to-back titles at Stairway to Millions. We see Stephen Chidwick, Bill Klein, Sam Soverell, Seth Davies in the mix.
Have not seen Nick Petrangelo yet, who won the Stairway to Millions main event, as well as pretty much all the money that series had to offer.
Won the 50K right before the main.
Just crushed it.
Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks in a very icy broadcast booth, I would say.
Little chilly in here
Little
today,
cold.
Huh? Yeah.
I think it's 10.
You want a little beverage? You want some of this
Oh, the
Commissario that
might warm you up
our
a little
man
bit,
Sean
huh?
brought. That'll.
Got the Añejo Tequila Commissario.
Yeah, wow. You dropped the accent in there
I'm
and
a big
everything.
tequila guy.
Right.
Yeah. There is a look at the PokerGO Cup along with a look at the payouts. Our final four, guaranteed $77,000. 23K pay jump from fourth to third up top.
What?
About
You know,
200K.
should have like 1.7.
Eat Noise says, "Where's Nick at?" Believe it or not, Nick Schulman's actually out there playing.
Saw him out there. He's in the field. He's in the mix.
So
He's
we're
battling.
hoping to get Nick at a final table, not the commentary, but actually to watch him play.
I think a lot of people put me and you and Schulman in the same category. You know, just that kind of cool.
Find out.
Well, we have a a similar vibe.
Yeah, it's just that vibe is kind of the same with the three of us. You know, just three good buds.
Yeah, check.
Fun little turn card. Both players. Elias open-ended. Colpoys with a little flush draw.
Elias, the overbet lead.
And really brutal again for Colpoys.
With
What
this
the heck
exact
am I doing?
hand, yeah.
Got a flush draw. This guy's overbetting the pot on the turn, which you see more and more of from the high rollers, depending on the texture.
Do you just like know what I have? What is
It's
this?
perfect
incredible.
against this
Right.
hand.
Oh, like witchcraft. What hearts? What the hell is this?
It's like Carrie yesterday.
Yeah. What the hell's going on here?
Great recognition. Darren Elias
Yeah.
has that equity, the 8 in his hand, a key card. 9-8, of course, made the nuts. Just goes for it, takes it down. Flush draw has to fold.
Look at his bio board presented by GPI THM. East Coast guy makes it out to Vegas for some of our high roller series.
Actually lived a pretty good time of his life, a length in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is where I associate
That's where
him as being from.
I first met Darren years and years ago.
You guys go way back in the day.
I've known him a long time.
Another guy who has such a consistent track record. Success year after year after year. Elias finished second at a 25K at the Poker Masters. Had 1 win and 8 cashes last year on the PGT. Colpoys Limson in the small blind with the ace-4, king-jack offsuit for Lichtenberger in the big.
You're earning them.
I know. I'm good at least realizing the equity, and then if I fuck it up later or whatever.
Queen 10-6. Open ender for Lucky Chewy.
Chewy just trying to summon an ace, which would be another mini disaster for Colpoys. Perhaps now we bet with that equity, just like what we saw from Elias a moment ago. Jack is a key card, of course. Jack 9 makes the current nuts. There it is.
There's another turnover bet.
Exact same figure as well, 240.
Spotting going on here. Am I wrong about how much is in there? How much is in the pot? Can you tell me this? All right, 60, 60. Yeah, there's 180 in there, right?
We're all a bullet over bet.
Yeah, I'm just getting overbet every hand. What the hell is going on?
No, the Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, this is fucked up.
About to look at some highlights from 2021. That man was the winner, Daniel Negroni, despite Liam Shurovich winning 2 events. Kerry Katz coming through at the end in the main. Certainly saved Negroni, propelled him to that cup win. Shurovich finished in at second. Katz, Coleman, Foxen rounded out our final 5. And there's a look at Negroni.
We're going to hear from Negroni this series, no doubt. He will make a run. He will make a final table, perhaps multiple. Great to see Negroni, John Hennigan, a couple legends out there battling amongst this sort of new wave of high rollers. I haven't seen Seidel. Typically, he's playing all of these. I do know he was walking around the streets of Manhattan just yesterday. Believe it or not, our executive producer was out walking his dog, and he saw Seidel across the street.
Yeah, cool. No, it doesn't matter.
If you are not subscribed to the PokerGO YouTube channel, you're missing out in a big way. We post daily clips that include some of poker's most unforgettable hands, devastating bad beats, and wild moments. Hit that subscribe button. Never miss a video. And we're also on air for the PokerGO Cup.
Yes, we are. Click that thumbs up now. Keep on subscribing if you're new to the channel. A lot of great streams coming to the PokerGO YouTube channel. All of the Cup. We got the U.S. Poker Open around the bend. That'll be in March. After that, we've got the Heads Up Championship, the PGT Heads Up Championship. We're bringing it back. Uh-oh.
Elias has ace-jack in the big blind with about 30 bigs. Chewy started the hand with more than half the chips in play. He has the ace-queen of diamonds. Darren just calls.
And this call, again, having roughly 30 bigs, Jeff, you know, it's low variance. Matthew Wantman has 18 big blinds. Colpoys 23 big blinds. He's just trying to really ladder up. He can have his opponent in rough shape. Ace-jack will play just fine post-flop, even out of position. Very fortunate to have avoided an ace-high flop. But even this texture is very hard for ace-jack to want to consider getting away. Right. I wouldn't expect Elias to be done quite yet. Sort of force Lichtenberger to bet a couple of streets, really sell his story or show him significant strength before he's done. Very dry texture. Continues to remain dry.
6 of clubs on the turn. Another check from Elias.
And this, what's happening right now, Darren thinking, all right, I'm going to call flop. I'm going to check this turn. And if Lichtenberger can again bet, well, I'm going to have to believe him this time. I think he does have a queen. I think he does have a value hand because that texture is just so hard to continue bluffing. Take a look at the sizing here, too. 330,000 into 480.
Quick fold by
Quick
Elias.
fold by Elias, yeah.
I used to.
How does it even work?
The oil just turns into fuel.
Oh, there we go, talking about the car.
Told you.
I didn't know that.
If you get like a special setup for it.
Yeah, I didn't know that could be a thing. How much did the setup cost?
Not that much. A few thousand.
Oh, it's not bad.
The car didn't work that well though.
Yeah, like what was?
I have a Tesla now. It's much.
What was top end speed on that baby?
You could get up to like 70, but it took a while.
like pulling onto a freeway is just kind of a nightmare.
Kind of, yeah.
Had to really rev that baby up to get up to 70 miles per hour.
I mean, the time that I do decide to ride with Chewy in his vegetable oil station wagon.
Well, he said now he's got the Tesla instead.
So what, he got rid of the car?
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame because I just got a fryer basket. And I was going to sit in the back seat, let that thing get hot, put a bag of fries in, maybe some tater tots, put them in the pockets, walk around, have a snack all day long, courtesy of Lucky Chewy's automobile.
10-8-5. Lichtenberger's sevens good at the moment, but money going on for Colpoys. Seven on the turn, and it's a set of sevens for Lucky Chewy.
Deja vu.
Magic sevens.
And for Colpoys, he's thinking, well, this texture is all me. I defended the big blind.
Yeah.
I have a lot of this, what you're seeing on the board. I've got a jack in my hand, which completes the nut straight. Let me go ahead and bet this thing. I should win it. And there's the quick glance at Chewy, thinking, why hasn't he folded yet? Now what? And you got the two-tone board. You got the hearts, the spades. It's probably a spot where Lucky Chewy needs to raise, and there it is. Deny some equity, protect your hand.
Makes it 340 Colpoys.
I immediately regretted doing this because I, sadly, not fucking continue. That's him.
Colpoys is a treat.
He's amazing, isn't he? He's one of the more entertaining players that I've ever sat around. Stuff that flies out of his mouth. He has no filter whatsoever. Does not care what anyone thinks about him. Love that.
How about we take a look at the leaderboard for the PGT? That man is in third, Ali Amshurovich. Always a force to be reckoned with. Just one win this year, so a little bit behind pace of what he did last year when he won 14 tournaments. Michael Wang is in the field. He's in second after his Stairway to Millions performance. Everybody trails Nick Petrangelo by a pretty significant margin.
Wow, that Stairway to Millions treated him out so well. You said it earlier. He won the 50K and then the 100K main event back to back. Just shy of $1.8 million earned at the Stairway to Millions alone for Nick Petrangelo, who's yet to be seen here at the PokerGO Cup. Perhaps he'll show up for the bigger buy-ins.
Good one. Oh, yeah. Look at that. What a player.
Yum, yum.
When it rains, it pours.
Well.
Cheery up to about 5.8 million in chips. Brent, you want to fill us in on what's going on in event number 2?
Yeah, let me load this sucker up. While I do that, if you are just tuning in, make sure you click that thumbs up. We got to get to 500 likes on the stream. If we're going to come back tomorrow, keep on clicking. Make sure you subscribe, and I'm going to give you a little update now.
Please do, and let's say that this update is presented by StormX, the company's exclusive cryptocurrency partner. And let's hold off just a sec on the update. I
see that. A little development, huh?
This Colpoys has 2 queens on the button. Opens here. It's ace-4 for Lichtenberger in the small blind.
Oh, my gosh.
Finds the fold.
I mean, how dialed in is Lucky Chewy? Colpoys with an absolute animal on the button for the first time. He knows he's going with it. And Lichtenberger just throws ace-X into the muck without much thought.
Wantman will defend the 7-3 of hearts. And we'll swing and miss there. Colpoys will fire with the 2 queens. That's 115,000, takes down that pot. Daniel Colpoys finished 4th, 25K at Seminole Hard Rock in Florida for more than $200,000. That's his biggest live score. Plays a ton online. Look at his bio board presented by GPI THM. Last year finished 2nd at a 10K Aria High Roller. This marks his 2nd cash at the 2022 PGT. All right, event number 2.
Ready for a little update, Jeff? All right, presented by StormX.
Yeah.
Live update, event number 2. What's going on inside the studio behind these guys? Current chip leader. Well, that is Ronald Minnis. Ronald Minnis, who is a new name on my radar.
Yeah.
I have never heard of Ronald. David Misakowski I have heard of. He's 2nd. Mitchell Havlicenter is 3rd. Sean Perry, the most controversial player in, well, maybe the entire poker universe. He's 4th. And Daniel Weinand, co-founder of Shopify, he is in 5th. In the hunt How about Chance Cornuth? He's top 10. Nick Schulman, who you
not
mentioned,
happy about
and
it.
Sammy Biscuit, Sam Sobrel, also in the top 10.
It's an
King Jack
absolutely
situation.
stacked field
King 10.
for event number
Do you
2
fold
of the
kings?
PokerGO Cup.
We call the Kings.
3 10Ks to kick off this series. Then a 15K, two $25,000 buy-ins, a 50K in our main event. Features a $100,000 buy-in. Brent and I will be here with you every step of the way. Complete shows on YouTube to start the series. If we hit a certain amount of likes, and we have more than 500.
I was going to say, yeah, we're going to be coming back for sure tomorrow with event number 2, the final table. Thank you guys so much. We got our thumbs up. We got our likes.
And Lucky Chewy just in full let's run him over mode. Ripped it with the ace deuce before. Rips it with the ace 4 here. More than 60% of the chips in play. Building that castle.
He has been unbelievable today, from the 2 huge bluffs early on, one of which was the first hand off the deck at this final table.
And that bluff didn't work.
It didn't work. He got picked off. He got the second one through, both against Matthew Wantman. It really shows how hard Lichtenberger has been working on his game from a theoretical side, as well as just that, you know, that universal intuition which he has thrived upon for so many years. He just sees things that, well, we don't.
There's one pair here. The shove is for about 15 bigs.
And he knows Wantman would do this with ace deuce, ace 3, maybe king deuce, king 3 suited. Not sure how wide. Wantman is our shortest stack.
And probably just no reason for Lucky Chewy
Yeah,
to flick some
3s
chips
in the muck. Let's continue to sort of abuse this scenario. It is Lucky Chewy's world right now. We're just living in it.
Yeah, let's take a look at that exact scenario. As our leaderboard still has Andrew Lichtenberger's name on top with almost 6 million chips. Only about 9.5 million chips in play. The rest split up amongst Darren Elias, Daniel Colpoys, and Matthew Wantman.
I know he just wants to keep it like this, you know, forehand.
Ace queen of hearts for Elias.
Keep raising
Oh
every
man,
hand.
15 blinds is a lot to edge pass on. I just have to.
Getting that fold at 3s, you know.
Well, that's nice folds. I had a 3 in my hand too. Maybe you wanted to go, just in case you get there.
Jack 10 for Wantman.
Wantman now 16 bigs in the big blind, getting a fine price, facing min raise, Jack 10 off. Really nothing to lose here. He's the shortest stack. You got a C3. Try to connect and go with it.
Does not quite connect on the 7-5-5 flop.
Elias is considering maybe checking back. He doesn't want to get check raised and have to fold ace queen of hearts. Instead, he is just going to bet, I think,
bet the min.
The absolute stone minimum. Perhaps this is the best avenue we should travel down, still get a lot of folds. Elias has been steady today.
Yeah. Entered the day second in chips. He's second in chips still.
These guys all know what they're up against, right? Chewy's got all the chips. It's just a matter of, you know, you're flipping coins at some point. This is where the gambling really comes into play. The skill right now is, well, who can outlast the other guy and make the best decisions every step of the way? Try and ladder up.
Wantman with a king in the small blind.
around 13 bigs. Got king high. That's good enough blind on blind where you're just going to move it in and get a ton of folds. Exactly what's going to happen here. Able to accumulate with no showdown. Those are critical pots when you're the short stack. Just keeps you hanging around in the fight.
$77 entries in event number 1. What does event number 2 have in store? Keep up at pgt.com, or let's just check it out right now. How about this? Steven Chidwick right next to Nick Schulman. The epitome of cool in poker, represented in one picture.
Gotta love this. Look at Nick, he's got the guns going on. He's been in the gym, he's been hitting the old boxing bag.
Nice shades too for Schulman.
Yeah, he told me about these glasses. It protects you from the bright lights, whether you're playing online, those types of rays, or inside our bright studio.
You could see Sean Perry talking to, well, everybody in the field. The table behind those two. Queen Jack of Spades for Lucky Chewy. The biggest stack is Elias with 20 bigs as the blinds have gone up to 40K, 80K with an 80K big blind ante. And that just opens the door for Lichtenberger to do this. And accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. He has 76 bigs. The rest of the table has just a little more than 40. Lichtenberger had 3 wins on the PGT in 2021. Won a 10K Venetian high roller, a 25K at the Venetian, and a 25K at the Bellagio. 9 cashes on the PGT for about $1.1 million.
Yum, yum. It's a lot.
3 final tables at the US Poker Open last year, which comes back in March. I blamed Mike Lang for the humming earlier, but Colpoys is definitely the culprit of the humming.
Well, he loves a good hum. Now listen, how do you know it is him though? How do you know it's not Wantman over there? Because I thought he was humming along.
I don't think it's Wantman. I think based on the facial expressions, I think it's been Colpoys, but
I thought it was Wantman this entire time. I don't know. Chad, who's humming? Let us know. What's your read? I got Wantman. Platt's got Colpoys.
Colpoys has 9 high.
It's probably just Chewy, and none of us
think that.
Can put the hum job on him.
Lichtenberger with now 64% of the chips in play. Building stacks. The dream. Maybe it is Wantman.
I think it's Wantman this whole time, Jeff.
Colpoys with the ace-king of clubs.
Colpoys doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that would hum.
In for most of it. Wantman with the queen 10 of diamonds. About 10 bigs behind. probably good enough.
You have how much total? 9? 9 and change?
In a non-final table ICM world, certainly good enough. What about in this very specific spot? Yep, still good enough. And here we go. Wantman will be all in and at risk with the Queen 10 of diamonds against Dan Colpoys' Ace King of clubs. The flop. 6-6-3 with 2 clubs. Pretty strong one for Colpoys. Wantman relegated to a queen or a 10 that's not a club. Four of clubs on the turn, and that will just do it for Matt Wantman. Out in fourth, $77,000. 77 points.
You got like 860
in the PokerGO Cup.
Yeah, Wantman, he can play PLO. He can play no limit hold'em. Just a great gambler. Very good overall poker player. Another top 5 finish here inside our studio. He'll be back.
I saw his hand when he lifted it up, and I was wondering what he was going to do.
Huh? It's close.
I saw it when he,
that's
right
really,
when he lifted it up.
that's, I don't know. It's kind of a brutal spot. I was hoping it was like the A7 off range. Not that one. But, I mean.
Tell you what, we don't hear any more humming, Jeff. I'm going to win that little side bet.
You're like, eh.
Yeah, then I'm just like, do I really want that?
And now we're in 6-figure territory for a final 3, all guaranteed $100,000. 46K pay jump from third to second. And up top is more than $200,000.
3 blinds away or something.
Oh.
Looks like
the humming. The humming, it's Colpoys.
Colpoys all along, huh?
I have no idea.
The Colpoys quartet continues.
Oh, really close.
However, it is all lucky chewy as far as the poker's concerned. Still roughly 65% of the chips in play. Colpoys with 23 big blinds. Elias under 20 big blinds.
170.
170,000.
We have seen it time and time again. It is just never easy. It doesn't matter how big that chip lead is. The chaos, the volatility, tournament poker.
All right, players, the 6 tables open and balanced and ready to go. All right, tournament dealers, go ahead and get them back in the air. Tournament dealers, go ahead.
Elias will defend here. We'll flop a king as it comes king at Jack 7, open ender for Colpoys. These 2 shorter stacks could collide.
105,000. $325.
The check raised to $325,000.
Straight value here for Darren Elias. The top pair, he's going to go for it. Would absolutely play for stacks right now. And now Colpoys, it's decision time, right? We've got that price with the open ender. Do we think that Darren would do this with enough hands where we could shove through and just get instant folds? What would he do with a hand like 10-8, 8-9 offsuit? Instead, he's just going to say, you know what, I'll take it. I got the nut straight draw. I'm open-ended. Maybe a pair's good. The turn is where problems are now presented for Colpoys. Assuming Elias tries to deny equity from various draws and puts in another big bet with top pair. That Queen 10 is pretty useless headed to the river. Just never going to get the right price. There it is.
You win.
Elias back to second in chips.
There were some cards where it was tough for you to win.
That's true. 6 of hearts, not one of them though. Elias up to about 2 million in chips. Taking a look at our leaderboard, Lichtenberger looking to go wire to wire at event number 1. Has more than 6.1 million in chips. Elias in second at 2 million. Dan Colpoys in a third, 1,405,000 in chips.
I was like 1.3 with the big blind.
What's that?
I lost a big pot there.
You have 1.1?
1.3-ish. Because I think I started with like 1.7, lost 400. I had Queen 10 there. 9.
Colpoys defends. Jack 5 of diamonds. Pops a couple backdoor draws. Chewy has a wheel draw and his ace high is best. Now it's Colpoys' turn to check raise. With those backdoor draws, he makes it 220,000.
Interesting hand selection. Again, taking advantage of this dry texture. We've seen it time and time again from Lichtenberger today. Colpoys now says Jack 5 of diamonds. Good enough. Give me some term equity, and we're going to play for all of it. Was hoping to pick it up right there on the flop. Obviously, Chewy not going anywhere with that gut shot and ace high.
Got a jack on the turn for Dan Colpoys.
Beautiful ticket. I'll tell you what, he does not want to make jacks up. 5 is a total disaster. Let's see what he does here on the turn. 880 in the middle. He's first to act after turning middle pair. Has to believe that that is good. Maybe a little concerned about Lichtenberger having a king. He's going to just try and control his destiny here.
He'll lead small, 175,000.
Lucky Chewy getting a fine price with ace high, as well as that wheel jaw.
He will make the call. Colpoys was 770K behind. There's about 1.2 million in the pot. Versus 6 was close to that 5 ball you were talking about.
I kind of jumped up. I thought he did it. I thought the 6 or the 5 of hearts came home. And it's really not a bad card for Colpoys. Clearly, he's got the winner, but we don't think we're up against 5-3 too often. If he was concerned, Lichtenberger could have been open-ended on the button. He's got a 5 in his hand, and he blocks that.
Checks it over to Lichtenberger. Does Chewy see the door open here?
We've seen him walk through this door
there
so
it
many
is.
times.
What have I done?
And he'll torture another opponent. This time it's Dan Colpoys. Put to the ultimate test, the decision for his tournament life.
A total fucking abortion by me.
Lichtenberger with a 3 in his hand again. We just talked about it. He can represent the 5-3, but Colpoys is going to think long and hard. He's got a 5 in his hand. Was he ever worried about just being dead all along? Was he up against King X 2 pair? Was he up against the set? Or can he find the ace-3 and think, oh, yeah, he just can have ace-high here? And no, he has to bluff river.
Makes the call. It's a fantastic call at that. Dan Colpoys has doubled up to almost 2.8 million in chips.
Thank you. 725.
Beautiful stuff. Colpoys gets max value.
770, I think. I can count one of these.
Told you this kid will say anything, right?
You proved that. Perhaps one of those spots where we saw terrific poker on display from both players there on the river.
Yeah, we certainly did. You know, Lucky Chewy has not passed on many of those bluffing opportunities, and it was a fine bluff at that. I mean, he'd be trapping just the way that he played the hand, and he had a good hand to bluff with. Colpoys showed his post-flop maneuverability. Little check raise with nothing but jack high and some backdoor love. Turns middle pair and just gets maximum value for a clean double up. Really tough call. He is
put me to the
one
test,
heck of a good player.
I appreciate it. A lot of heart. Just decided I don't think I could fold that one once I get there with that hand somehow.
Yeah, it's very reasonable.
Rewarded for that call. Not just the ace of hearts, but the ace of clubs as well. Just limps in the small blind.
That's great, huh? He even says it, call, casually starts stacking the chips, like nothing to see here, nothing going on, and Chewy's got the ultimate ace crackers. 10-9 suited.
King, king, 7 with 2 diamonds.
Way ahead, way behind sort of scenario for Colpoys. Easy hand to check over just in case you're up against the king. You're never going to fold with just check call. Now, a little value town.
Lichtenberger turned to 10.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. This hand is too good. Beautiful spot right now at the moment for Colpoys, hoping to get 2 streets of value.
And with that 4 of spades, that route looks quite likely.
Yeah, just a stone brick on the river. Colpoys, how much? What can we bet and ensure that we get called? Looks like he's asking a lot. 3/4 pot.
320K.
I think Lichtenberger's hand is just a little too good. Sometimes you got to pay in the money. There it is.
He thinks that as well. Moving up the leaderboard, Dan Colpoys now has more than 40 bigs.
Here he comes. We said it. It looked like Lichtenberger was just running away with this thing. A matter of 2 hands. This whole thing has been flipped upside down. Colpoys making a run at it.
Darren Elias, the shortest stack, but still with 25 bigs. Chewy raising out of the small blind here. Elias has king 3 in the big.
Let's play Name That Tune. Can you figure out what Colpoys is humming?
No.
It's more of a moan.
It's quite delightful, though.
Just a,
yeah.
Oh my God, you had quads that. Yeah, I was just like, there's no fucking way.
Jack 10-3 with 1 diamond. Top pair in the backdoor flush draw for Lichtenberger. Elias flops a pair of 3s.
Clearly quite favorable for Lucky Chewy. Top pair, backdoor diamonds. And Elias has enough of it just by flopping a pair, where we'll certainly have to imagine he's going to come along for one more street. He's weighing his options. Just bottom pair. Pretty hard to improve. Obviously a king or a 3. There's really nothing more he can do. Maybe considered raising. Can we take it right now? Not on that texture. Seems odd.
Trip jacks now for Lichtenberger.
And believe it or not, a bit of a troublesome card for Elias, as we now give Lichtenberger less credit for even having a jack in this spot. And a beautiful trap now being set. Lucky Chewy, knuckle. Take the bait, Elias. I've seen it from time to time where great players will bet in these spots around a quarter of the pot. And whenever they do get called, they're just betting now in order to get to showdown on the river. Sort of a blocker bet in turn scenarios. I think he's going to do that. There it is, 225. Really just allows you to play your hand quite minimally on all rivers. Even if you get check raised here, it's an easy fold. And you're checking back on majority of rivers that you go unimproved. Lichtenberger knows all this. Perhaps he understands what Elias could be up to. If he tries to put him in a tough spot, suspect a check raise is coming. Just gonna make the call.
So now more than 1.2 million chips in this pot. Eight of hearts on the river. Chewy quickly checks.
Man,
and that small turn bet, like you to your point, bought Elias a
you're gonna win.
cheap river.
It's a big hand right there.
He's hoping to just win it on the turn with that small sizing.
Yeah. Right.
Anytime he sees any resistance, whether it's a call,
Quick learner.
check raise, he's just done with the hand.
All right, he's got plenty of showdown value.
Yeah.
Forming the pair of 3s. Lucky Chewy starting to turn things around a look on in event 2. And there he is, Johnny World. John Hennigan firing off in a no-limit hold'em high roller.
Love to see it, huh? Not just a master of the mixed games. He can play it all. Good friends with Nick Schulman. They talk a lot of poker together. I know Nick's been talking theory with Hennigan as far as no-limit hold'em is concerned. And Hennigan is a gamer of all sorts. He's fascinated. He loves watching these young guns play, and he's out here trying to compete himself.
Chewy raising button here. Colpoys has 10s. Big.
On.
Now just rip it here.
No spot.
Big hand.
Oh, good, more humming.
Colpoys at more than 3.5 million in chips. He denies this, Brent, but I played in the main with Colpoys years ago, and he was so tilted off a pot that he won because he didn't get nearly enough value as much as he thinks he should have. He just walked off for a good 10 or 15 minutes.
Against you?
No, it wasn't against me. It's just some guy who he battled with, and he tried to get all tricky with kings against queens, and just...
He just stormed up,
And he just stormed, and he says, tells me nowadays, he's like, nah, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was you.
Where did he go?
Well, there's, I mean, in the Rio, there's a lot of room to wander.
During the main?
During the main.
Like
Darren Elias, BetMGM's poker ambassador.
Just under 5.
Out of the University of Redlands, where he studied creative writing.
I had like 3.2 when I jammed on you, I believe, so around there.
We're certainly fans of BetMGM here at the Aria Resort and Casino. You see the BetMGM logos on our table. And Jamie Foxx, you know, good friend of ours, BetMGM ambassador.
Oh, yeah, great guy. Think we'll see him this week here?
Yeah. Sure, we'll stop by.
No doubt.
$4.90.
He's 4 off for Lichtenberger in the small blind, which he has passed on before versus a button raise, and now 3 bets.
Incredible how he's right in all these moments in all these spots. And again here, it's just going to work. Colpoys has no choice but to throw it into the muck.
You keep doing that, or was that just like a one-off thing?
I don't know. Depends on what I get dealt.
The Global Poker Awards are back, and they will be live streamed exclusively on PokerGO. Join us on Friday, February 18th, as we celebrate the entire poker industry live from the PokerGO Studio in Las Vegas. Now, Brent, I love producer Pat, but how is my name not in the script? I'm hosting the awards with Drea Renee.
Giddy up, Jeff. Yeah, well, he probably knew you would.
He knew that I would just bring that up naturally.
Talk about yourself anyway.
And I'm nominated for 2 awards. But it's not about me. It's just about the show overall that I will be hosting, and am nominated for 2 of the awards again. But again, it's just going to be a great night to celebrate our amazing industry and me. You'll be there.
Well, I'll send you that invoice for how much you owe us.
I'm not paying you guys to host.
1.35.
I will certainly be there.
Will you be decked out in the cowboy getup that
Every
we've seen in
year,
the last
full
couple of years?
cowboy. I go
absolutely love
Amarillo
it.
Hanks mode every year.
That's
I'll
a
always
night
be a
where we
cowboy.
finally see everybody get all dressed up, and then you are dressed up.
Right.
You come in cowboy gear.
Exactly.
It's,
Hat, boots,
It's a
jacket.
formal cowboy attire. It's like imagine Yellowstone.
Uh-huh.
Nice function, nice gathering.
Never been on a horse in my
Montana.
life.
Really?
Never. Not once.
Beautiful animals.
Excuse me?
Beautiful animals.
Okay.
You talking about the horses?
Yes.
Or the?
Did you have a deuce beat?
Okay.
What else would I be talking about?
Well, I don't know. I
Jack deuce.
assume it's the horses.
Well, you said I've never rode on a horse.
Right.
And I said beautiful animals. So what?
Yeah, I mean,
I think I was referring
feels
to.
like you had an easier.
Never know with your mind.
Feels like you had an easier path to victory than I did. So, decided to.
How long of a delay are we on from the Irish developer? Well, about 30, 40 minutes, somewhere in there. The usual. Of course, we are live.
Yeah, we're watching this with you guys.
All in.
So you said you enjoyed that show, Yellowstone, huh?
Yeah, you gave me the recommendation.
Jet 5 on
Sure
top?
did.
I trusted you.
Yeah. Great show. Season 1, Season 2, spectacular.
It's like super far away from you. Can't see shit.
3 just finished. Have you started 3?
I've started 3. I just watched
the first episode as we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the PokerGO Cup. 2 more 10Ks, a 15K. Then we move to the 25K price point for 2 events, a 50K and a $100,000 main.
Who's your favorite character?
Probably Beth.
Yeah.
Maybe Rip. Deuces for Elias. Speaking of Rip, and speaking of favorites.
Oh, come on, Darren. Don't fail me now.
Oh,
Big brisket, couple of mallards, my 2 favorite, the black ones.
Listen.
There we go. You ever had smoked duck?
I've had duck. I can't remember how it was cooked.
Never had the smoked variety, but I'd like to try it in the smoker. Maybe Darren Elias has. He is the big brisket, after all, man of the meats. When you and I were down in Houston doing an event at Champions, I went to a barbecue joint with Darren Elias.
That's right.
2 of us wandered out. And it was unbelievable.
That was when y'all wandered way out, right? Like, you're like, hey, let's go get barbecue with Darren. And I'm like, okay, cool. And it was like 40 minutes away. And so I said, no, thank you.
Yeah, it was a 40-minute
Ooh.
Uber ride or whatever. Meanwhile,
Lucky Chewy has flopped trip jacks, while Colpoys has flopped the flush draw. Trip bets the min. Colpoys check calls. Three on the turn.
really brutal for Colpoys now. Just picking up a pair to go along with that flush draw. Absolutely must check. And unless Lichtenberger just comes with an overbet on the turn, there's no world in which Colpoys can get off of this hand, nor should he. And we have seen the overbet from time to time here today.
Time bank used, giving Lichtenberger an additional 30 seconds to act.
So methodical. It's almost like he was doing a little trained breathing in that moment.
That's 270K. Goes the 2/3 sizing.
Colpoys with just shy of 40 big blinds in this spot. He's plenty deep to make this call. And he is questioning, would Lichtenberger do this with a 10? Maybe. Is my queen good if I make it? I don't want to have to guess on the river. Instead, he's just trying to hit a diamond.
All right, 245.
Make this flush.
Oh.
Hope it's good enough.
There it is. Yeah.
Almost 1 million in the middle. And the river is the 7 of diamonds. The flush comes in for Colpoys. And he checks.
A brutal spot for Lucky Chewy. We have trips. The flush came home. Not to mention 8-9 for the straight also came home. He has been dialed in all day long. Can he possibly check this thing back with trips, understanding that he was up against some sort of draw? If anybody can do it, it's this man.
Fires off another time bank.
If we do bet, what are we targeting? Is it simply just a 10? Everything else got there.
565.
565. Going to look for some value, 565,000, and just gets snapped right off.
Certainly don't fault him for trying to eke out value, targeting that 10, as we mentioned. And a critical pot for Daniel Colpoys, who now takes over the chip lead for the first time today. Lucky Chewy has relinquished. He falls to second in chips with 4.1 million. Still plenty deep, 50 big blinds.
Lichtenberger's wire-to-wire run is halted here by Colpoys.
Have I overtaken you?
Who rivers the flush? And the answer to that question is yes. You have overtaken him.
Just around 4.
Very nice. Now I get to open wider on the button.
And opens here with the king deuce suited.
I meant to only make it 160. One of us is going to lose an extra 5K because of this.
What if he's going to win an extra 5K?
I know.
And Elias flops the straight.
A good question from the chat, from the Irish developer. Commentators, would it have been worth Colpoys check raising there instead of just calling on that river a moment ago, Jeff? And maybe there's some thought put into it. The problem is, if Lichtenberger did have a better flush, and obviously on that sort of board he can be full, whenever you get snapped, you're just dead.
And not that many hands that are worse are calling there versus a check raise. But good question. Lichtenberger opens here with the queen 6 of hearts.
Just like that, he's back.
Yeah, back in the chip lead. It's Lichtenberger.
I didn't realize I could hear like everything I say loud and clear, like on my stream.
Yep, you are mic'd up.
You can always hear yourself, you're saying?
No, I didn't realize that they could hear everything I'm saying.
Oh.
Like, I thought it was like only certain situations.
Well, how did you think microphones work?
What? We have microphones on.
Yeah. When I led the queen jack on 10-8, 6-7 or whatever on the turn, whatever it was, you raised. Queen jack off. I instantly realized we can't fucking continue, and like everybody just texted me that.
Lichtenberger defense with the king 5
Well, you
off.
learn something new every day, really, how a microphone works.
Now I wonder if the humming will continue. Queen 10-10.
And I kind of believe him. I mean, Colpoys is the kind of guy, he's probably never watched a live stream in his life. Doesn't realize you can hear absolutely everything.
And you guys are giving me the button. What fucking guys?
looks like this will be the last hand before break. Be a super short break for us, about 3 minutes.
Just to, what? Oh.
Elias, look for some value here.
Certainly
back
believe
flop and
he
turn.
will, yeah. And, you know, believe it or not, I think Chewy with king high has a bit of a decision to make. He's going to quickly fold.
Elias takes down that pot in the last hand before break. Before we go off to break, let's take a look at the leaderboard. Lucky Chewy back on top of that leaderboard, but it's been a battle for him. Here comes Dan Colpoys up to about 3.9 million in chips. Elias, the shortest stack, at 1.7 million. We will raise the blinds when we come back. It's final table coverage of event number 1 of the PokerGO Cup, and it continues in just 3 minutes. Ernesto says later dude's heading to her house. All right, good luck at Ernesto. Sandy Sanchez, all Brent has to do is to get D-Negs drunk and he'll put him in the 10K.
Speaking of which, I've got this beautiful bottle of, well, a beverage next to me. Maybe I'll take it out and see if Daniel's thirsty.
Oh, there we go.
I could play
Start
event
the
number
process,
2.
yeah. Wantman opens here to 80K at the Jack 10 offsuit.
Yeah, inevitable.
Ace, Queen of Spades.
Collision, you know, Lang's stack. He's got 15 big blinds. You know the play here. Everybody tuning in. When you get below 20, typically you just grip and rip, pile drive, all in, say a little prayer.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Colpoys has 2 jacks.
I'm on.
And we see some chips going into the middle here. We see Mike Lang all in and at risk with the ace, queen of spades against the 2 red jacks. Dan Colpoys.
Yeah, jacks, man.
I had a jack.
The red ones too, right?
How can you possibly win? I had a jack.
I guess I'll fuck myself.
I had a spade.
There we go.
No!
It's sorry, man. I had 2 spades.
Dang!
I had ace jack.
He's taking all my hope.
That's good.
All of the outs for both players have been revealed.
Good game, guys.
Gets up, ready to rock and roll.
That's not what almost got you a flush yesterday.
He's just going to win on the river and not even realize it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here comes the flop. 9-3-3, a safe one for the jacks.
I was just thinking that as well.
Unless it runs 3-3.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Come on, man. you have such a strong universal.
Perfect.
You have such a strong universal pull. I feel like you're fucking me here.
No.
Turn card. 5 of diamonds. Lang down to 6 outs. You see him on
Ace
top
on
of
the
your
river.
screen.
Very
He wants
G.
an ace. A queen will do as well.
Very G.
River card.
Happens every time.
I'd take a queen, too.
That's a deuce.
Good game, guys.
Okay, man.
That'll do it for Mike Lang.
Play with you.
Out in 6th for
Jacks been strong for
$4,600.
you.
I'll say that's a tough hand to play.
Brent on the board at the PokerGO Cup. as
Yeah, on the
amateur.
board once again
Nice
here
play, man.
inside the studio. He had a nice showing at the Stairway to Millions. Now back here for the Cup. We're going to see a lot more of Michael Lang, the amateur out of Iowa.
You got a dirty
Good
stack
start
Yeah, I saw.
to the
Thank you.
series for him. And
3 players remain, all chasing the first title of the 2022 PokerGO Cup. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada
inside the PokerGO Studio on a brisk day in Vegas. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks, Daniel Colpoys, Darren Elias, both chasing Andrew Lucky Chewy Lichtenberger. The blinds have gone up 50K, 100K with a 100K big blind ante. So now, Mr. Hanks, less than 100 bigs on the table.
Yeah, it's going to be moving relatively quickly at this point. Keep an eye on Elias. He's just been sitting snug. He's held that chip position, second, third, throughout the entire day. 17 big blinds. He's essentially a double up away from being neck and neck with a chip lead.
Colpoys opens here with the ace-3 of diamonds. It's ace-7 off for Elias. He will defend. Ten, 8, deuce, 1 diamond.
Not the best board for Colpoys to want to continue. He's going to do it anyway for the stone minimum. Does have that backdoor diamond draw. A bit of a straight draw if we go wheel hunting. Just hoping that Elias has completely missed this board. We can win it with a minimum bet, move on.
Elias not going anywhere quite yet. Turn brings the 5 of diamonds. So the wheel draw and the flush draw now for Colpoys.
Absolute gin for Colpoys. And now he's trying to understand what he's up against from Elias. Some sort of 8, maybe a 10. Just the heck with it. I'm going to price myself in. I'm going to bet this huge draw.
Take that down after a 550K bet. Elias now under 15 bigs. Final 3 guarantee $100,100. 46K pay jump from 3rd to 2nd. And up top.
Another turn guess out of me.
Turn guess?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I didn't know what to do.
$200,200 reverse.
Pretty good hand. Pretty good hand.
It was certainly good enough.
Yeah, I mean, ace-3 of diamonds. A lot of stuff going on.
You had many things.
I did.
Going on.
Elias with the king-8 off.
More importantly, Elias with 13 big blinds in his stack up against
all in.
Current chip leader. Just going to slam it home.
Colpoys with king-10. And Elias runs right into it.
King-8.
Darren Elias all in and at risk, needing some help with king-8 up against the king-10 of Dan Colpoys.
No, I just can't see it. It's like, I mean, me and Darren are about as far away as possible.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you heard he said.
No, I can't see it. I can't hear him anyway.
You're in a bubble.
Yeah.
Elias trying to find a way to stay alive. Here comes the flop. King in the window, ace, king, deuce.
Some opportunities.
Opportunities available. Could find a chop. Elias looking for an 8. Is it there on the turn? It is not, but the queen on the turn brings even more chop outs into the equation. Elias can only win outright with an 8. Colpoys a 70% favorite. River card. It's the 7, and that will do it
for Darren Elias, out in third for $100,100. And Brent, he is on the board at the PokerGO Cup with 100 points.
Yeah, a six-figure score, podium finish for Darren Elias. He is inching closer and closer to the $10 million career live earnings mark. Perhaps it'll happen this week at the PokerGO Cup. We will see him again.
And we will see these two go heads up.
Speed up the levels.
Dan Colpoys taking on Andrew Lichtenberger. Lucky Chewy entered the day with the chip lead. Finds himself at a slight chip disadvantage. It's about a 60-40 edge for Colpoys. They will chat. They will get set for heads up play. And we look at the leaderboard before we get to it. Colpoys, 5.7 million in chips. Lichtenberger, about 3.9 million. We saw Darren Elias eliminated in third for a little bit more than $100,000. Matt Wantman out in fourth for $77K. Scott Ball, Busto in fifth for $61,600. Michael Lang eliminated in sixth for $46,200. Shannon Shore, Jake Schindler, Kerry Katz, Jesse Lonis, Waysam Abdallah also on the board at the PokerGO Cup. All right, a 5-minute break, and then we will come back. Heads up for the title of event number 1 of the PokerGO Cup. Stay with us.
At our office here in Las Vegas, and he drives up in this sort of Harry and the Hendersons like station wagon. I mean, I'm talking straight out of the 80s.
Okay.
And he doesn't use gasoline in his car. Rather, he feeds it vegetable oil. And
in
that's
his car?
In his car. It's this vegetable oil station wagon. You know, so this high roller's not out there driving a Tesla or, you know, some designer beautiful automobile. He's got this, I'm not kidding, it's a, you know, a massive station wagon. And he goes to McDonald's or any fast food joint here in Las Vegas. He pulls up to the drive-thru and he asks them if they've got any vegetable oil that they're throwing away, and he'll collect it. That's what he uses to operate his vehicle.
I was about to say, no way Chewy goes to a McDonald's, but for the vegetable oil,
he only
I
goes
could
for
see
the
it.
vegetable oil to fill up his car. That is all a true story. He told me he was going to drive me out to the Grand Canyon, and we were going to take a little road trip.
Oh, you and
We've
Chewy?
yet to do it. He's probably worried I'd start drinking his supply.
Probably so. Lichtenberger does enjoy rock climbing. Maybe it was going to be an intense little climb or just a light hike. I don't know. Also plays the violin, plays chess, enjoys calligraphy.
Calligraphy?
Yeah. Did I pronounce it wrong? Handwriting?
It's with the little funky
with
metal
the-
tips.
yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't know anybody enjoyed that.
It's enjoyable for some. Chewy told us before play started he still has such a deep passion for the game.
My goodness. If that got picked off, Jeff, who knows? He could already be out of here. He kept the pedal down in his vegetable oil gassed up station wagon, and he just kept on cruising.
Elias with King Jack of Hearts in the big, facing an open from Chewy. Jack in the window, Jack 7-6, 1 heart. Top pair in the backdoor flush draw for Elias. Little piece for Lichtenberger.
Just a little taste, and the texture's good enough for him to want to continue, even with bottom pair. Hopes to win it right here in the event that he is called. Has to feel pretty good about an additional 6 or a possible ace. Could be up against various draws. I'm more curious about Darren Elias here. What are we doing with top pair? Good kicker, King Jack suited, backdoor hearts. He's just going to set the call. Sort of a trap from his point of view.
Eight of spades on the turn.
Not the best ticket for either player, as you
Right.
see both of them shut it down, check, check.
River delivers top 2 pair to Darren Elias. $435K in this pot.
Gonna toss this thing in the smoker, set it at about 350, just let it marinate for a while and just cook. How much do we bet? Hoping to get called by a 7, a 6, maybe some sort of turned 8. Problem is, I can't find a single draw that is missed. Whether it be 9-10, 8-9 would have made a pair. Lichtenberger has a very bad hand to consider calling with on the river.
Oh, the blocker sizing by Elias on the river, which is kind of cool. Bet 75K.
He's just hoping to induce. He wants Lichtenberger to turn his hand into a bluff. You can see the face, right?
Wants him to think I have a 7 or I have an 8 here. I'm just trying to block.
Yeah, yeah. But you can see Lucky Chewy too.
Heads up for the title. Heads up for more than $200,000. And heads up for the lead in the race for the PokerGO Cup. Welcome back to the PokerGO Studio. Jeff Platt alongside Brent Hanks. And Brent and Andrew Lichtenberger alongside Dan Colpoys in this heads-up battle. What can we expect here?
We have two stone opposites, really, when it just comes to everything. When poker, lifestyle. Lucky Chewy is, you know, nonstop studying. He's present at the table. Colpoys isn't even here.
He just ran for the hills.
He's gone.
He just ran off to get his phone
Left.
charger or something.
Yeah.
Nice time. Oh, and then he runs in front of our shot. This is unbelievable. The amount of disrespect by Dan Colpoys.
Yeah, he's a disruptor in every way, shape, or form. He really is. You hear how unfiltered he is when he talks at the table. Great player. He's been playing a number of years. I know he and Lucky Chewy have battled a ton online over the last decade.
And an entertaining character who just absolutely destroyed 2 of our opening camera shots into the heads-up battle. You don't see that too often. As he runs for the hills on shot number 1 and then steps right in front of the camera getting the trophy in shot number 2. Dan Colpoys starting off heads up with a bang.
That goes on the blooper reel. Did a little meditating and yoga at break. Colpoys went outside, probably pounded a couple, you know, Marlboros. And,
and here we are.
Here we go.
They're going to play 20-minute levels. Both players have agreed to that, to shorten up the structure. And the magical heads-up ride for Colpoys continues as he flops the wheel.
He's just staring over there to Mr. Universe, hoping that Lucky Chewy does something crazy and unorthodox, and he will float.
Just 8 high. And he will turn a 6.
Colpoys has to recognize that. That's a great card. Lichtenberger can totally have some sort of 6, whether it was 6-4, 6-3 that he could have been floating with as far as equity is concerned. Hoping he could be targeting maybe just a 5, by chance some sort of ace. He's going to size it up, 275 to go.
Chewy check calls. River brings another 5.
And again, a dream card for Colpoys to look at. He's just hoping. He's up against trips right now. More than $1 million in the middle.
Sizable bet here. Overbet. 1,350,000.
And you can see why Lucky Chewy is perplexed, thinking, what did you bet on the flop? again on the turn and then on the river, you're representing trips or a flop straight. Would you ever be doing this with a hand like ace-7, ace-8 with the overbet on the river? Genuinely confused and perplexed. You would have expected a 5 to maybe check back on the turn if he were up against that.
Finds the fold.
Was it? You folded a 6?
Yeah.
It's a good flop.
Wow.
Pretty good flop for the 3-4.
I was really close to calling.
Yeah, I didn't know how much a 6 would pay anyway, so I'm just like, okay, I'll target an ace and a 5. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good bet for sure.
Feels reasonable.
That's a funny hand.
It's just kind of tough to find too many natural bluffs.
Makes sense
Guess
to
I
go
can think
big.
of a couple.
Think
of a couple.
8-9, 7-9, 7-8. Seem reasonable-ish.
John Prince in the
the time
YouTube chat.
extension
PokerGO
down the drain.
monetizing content of their own greedy gains
Pretty
since
soon we're gonna be
2017.
playing
Thanks, you
speed
guys. You're
poker,
welcome,
like
John,
speed
for the
chess
free
thing for you
stream
anyway.
on
I like
PokerGo.
speed chess.
Yeah, speed poker, I feel like has to
Interesting
be
timing
advantage
for
me
that
at this
comment.
point.
Advantage you?
Yeah,
think
John,
so.
I got to tell you, that doesn't make
Not really that much in
any
the online
sense
speed
whatsoever.
anymore. You are, but I don't know.
But you're welcome.
400.
At least he was polite.
He's very polite.
I mean, this is just, it's like a, I mean, for God's sakes.
Now you know how I felt.
Yeah, I know, right?
How the
It's like
2-to-1 chip lead
sometimes
now for
just like
Colpoys.
the shovel just, or dirt shovel just.
What?
Fuck am I trying to say?
I love this guy.
This is great. More Colpoys at the studio,
Yes,
hopefully,
please.
in the future. I do think we'll see more and more.
I do too, yeah. He's a total character.
Finished 4th at a 25K in Florida. If he wins today, he'll move up to 6th on the PGT standings.
Well, that top 6 is very critical come December. If you finish in the top 6 of the PGT leaderboard, which you can find over at pgt.com, you qualify for a $500,000 winner-take-all free roll. And that'll be the PGT Tour Championship in December, right here in this studio.
Should we check calls with the pair of aces? Another 6 on the turn. $200K to our winner, along with 200 points, $146,300 to second, along with 146 points. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the PokerGO Cup. We're here with you every single day. Events 2 and 3, also 10K buy-ins. Then we move up to that 15K price point. Events 5 and 6 are 25Ks. Event 7, a $50,000 buy-in. And our main event will cost $100,000 to enter. Daniel Negroni is here to defend his cup. He's out in the field in event 2.
I mean, a pre-flop time extension would be wild.
Fortunately, no need for that yet.
Our final 4 from last year's first event are in the field this year. Last year in the inaugural event of the PokerGO Cup, Alex Foxen beat Sean Perry heads up. Sergey Rushak in third. The Ibex is in the mix here, and David Coleman is also out in the field.
The Ice Chest.
That's Coleman?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you nicknamed
I think
it,
it's
or
the Ice
Did you
Chest.
just come up with that?
No, maybe I just came up with it.
The Ice Chest.
No.
I mean, I get it.
Right. I was
ice cold.
Lost in thought a moment ago,
Guess he can't
thinking
be the
about.
cooler.
Well, yeah, Coleman is a brand name for a cooler, Jeff.
Well, I know. I'm saying I guess we can't. Call
I don't
want
to call him the cooler.
Yeah,
That would- although great movie.
Great movie.
William
Great
H. Macy.
yeah.
Oh. Anyway, the PGT giving out that $500,000 free roll to the players. I mean, I'm thinking about who else does that? What other tour out there?
Well, it's very similar to golf and the FedEx.
I'm thinking, well, yes, that clearly a great model for us. But I
Yeah.
mean, in poker in general, the PokerGO Tour.
Oh, it's not close.
Incentivizing the best players in the world to play a part of the entire series to qualify for more for $500,000.
That's absurd.
At the end of the year. Not to mention, I mean, the winner of the points race for the PokerGO Cup, that's 50 grand on top.
Same
You're
with
going to do the
US
same
Poker
thing with
Open.
the majors, US Poker Open, the Poker Masters. When it's all said and done, there's $700,000 going out to the players every calendar year. And if you sign up on time for your first bullet, it's rake free. That's
Pretty strong.
crazy.
You can see why the players love coming here time
Right.
and time again. Chewy going nowhere with that jack of spades in his hand. Turns the four of spades, so an open ender and the flush draw for Lichtenberger. Colpoys with the pair in the open ender. King of clubs on the river.
The Irish developer says, commentators, who is your favorite poker YouTuber? Poker YouTuber. You have to choose one?
Well, I love Negroni's vlogs in the summer.
Yeah, that's probably the no-brainer
choose
for me.
Negroni. We've developed a bit of a relationship with Brad Owen.
Oh, yeah, I'm forgetting about the vlog guys.
I would
Brad
assume that's what
Owen
the
and,
question is.
Nemi.
Yeah.
I like the Greg Goes All In guy.
He's funny, yeah.
Some random.
Is Doug Polk considered a
Backdoor
YouTuber?
hand
Oh,
or
maybe.
four?
Yeah, probably. Colpoys finds a nice call with the threes.
You win. I have jack high.
You have like Jack with diamonds or something? No, it's fine.
Oh, Ryan DePaulo is riding around.
Oh, I like that
Love
guy. The
DePaulo.
The degenerate guy?
The ultimate degenerate.
Right.
Colpoys on his feet to stack the chips after that one.
JC Brent, are you in mourning over the Bills still? Not really. No.
Beg to differ.
No. I mean, I'll never be the same.
Right. Right.
I
You've
went through this during the
changed.
90s. Now again.
Good future, though.
Yeah.
Kept Ken Dorsey.
Future's bright, Jeff.
Got
Not
a decent
like the
quarterback.
Mavs.
Not like the Mavs. Luka just named to the All-Star team. Three-time All-Star.
That's a
What'd you
no-brainer,
start
though,
at,
right?
you know?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
given.
3-175 with the blind.
Lost to the Thunder, though, yesterday in Dallas. Not a
Bad
great-
loss.
yeah,
I
it's not a
woke up
great
to your text saying it was a terrible loss.
one. It wasn't great.
All in?
A lot of Rampage love in the chat.
I'm not familiar with Rampage. I've seen that name
Young
floated
gun,
around,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you played many heads up big blind antes?
A few. Yeah.
Same. It's different.
It is definitely different. It's fun.
Lucky Chewy, 10 and 9 lifetime heads up. Colpoys is 1 and 2. He raises here, and Lichtenberger makes the call with the 8-5. Just comes 9-7-6.
No problem.
Straight for Lucky Chewy. The open ender is there for Colpoys, and that comes in on the turn. What do you say about chop pots again?
I'm not
Brent?
a big
Everybody
chop
loves
pot
you love
guy,
them?
Jeff.
You don't
know,
love
I'm
them.
against the grain. I think they stink. I don't want to see anyone chop a pot.
But everybody loves them.
I mean,
they're not. Maybe that's not true.
I don't think it's true. I think it's all made up.
Huh.
Yeah.
A lot of questions about how the art has now been removed from behind Lichtenberger and Colpoys. I don't know if that was Brent's doing or not.
It certainly was not.
Maybe
They won't
it's-
let me influence the set whatsoever. Although I would, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
So Lichtenberger's obviously coming with a check raise here, and Colpoy's going to have to call, and we all know what happens.
Chop it up.
Gregory Deckelman, Brent, I've been a suffering Bills fan since Joe Ferguson. Oh, boy. Sorry, Gregory. Brutal.
2.4 million.
Massive check raise by Lichtenberger for just about all of it.
All in? I have an 8.
The all-in, the call, the chop.
Yeah. Do you have a 10? Okay. Phew. That was it's not that exciting.
It's probably exciting for
Man,
these
we
two
were
in the
both
moment.
really deep in it there. Sneaky people we are.
Feels good to not have to snap fold when you get jammed on.
I was
If
super
you guys
happy
are
when
tuning
that
in for
check
this
raise
heads
went
up
nice.
match,
He
you're
check raised
just
like a 4.
joining the stream, make sure you click that thumbs up, guys. It
When you
really
took that
helps
fast,
us
he
a
probably is
ton.
not having a 4.
We can keep coming back and doing free streams
1.2.
all week long.
I like it.
And if you haven't subscribed, well, what are you waiting on? Subscribe right
Click subscribe.
now.
It's easy. It's free.
And who are you rooting for? Heads up. You got Colpoys or Lucky Chewy? Stone opposites in, well, probably every way. Poker, life, you name it. JC, is Brent any relation to Tom Hanks? I guess you haven't tuned in to previous streams, JC, but yeah, it's my uncle. It's pretty well known. That is indeed my uncle.
JC knows.
See him every holiday. When he's not busy on set. You know, it's hard, you know. Uncle Tom's always working on different productions, movies, shows.
And so are you.
Oh, of course. Well, clear where I got my talent from.
Another straight for Lucky Chewy. Oh, and a king on the river for
A little bit of
Colpoys.
blood, I think, for Colpoys. It's enough to where he's going to bet for value here. Cheeky check back by Chewy on the turn with that straight, so it allows him to put in a little bit of a razoo right now on the river.
$475.
$475.
Chewy makes it $475K.
You're bluffing Queen 6, Andrew?
Queen 6 would be a fun one to bluff with.
I don't like
but
to fold.
Chewy does have it.
I think you know that. building sucks.
Time bank used for an additional 30 seconds to act.
I don't blame him. Top pair is hard to make. It's either did Lichtenberger just check on the turn with it or not.
Straight.
No. Which
Does
one?
get paid.
Oh, you sneaky fucker. It's an unfortunate river. Yes, Sam.
Thank you.
Ooh, good question from
What
Brent
if the copycat
Hammonds in
play?
the chat. Brent
Yeah,
asking how
what
your
the
cousin
hell's
is
going on
doing.
here? I got
Cousin
greedy.
Kristen.
Yeah, how's Kristen
She's doing great, actually.
That's great.
Still putting out tons of content.
River card, if you ask
Not
me.
that I really check it out because it's my
don't know
cousin,
her.
and it's
Right.
you know, it's a little revealing.
Well, tell her I said hello,
I'm
will
sure you probably do it all the time in the DMs.
She's doing all right, though.
You probably know the answer to that as well. That is not my Uncle Tom Hanks's daughter. That would be my
Got it.
Uncle Ron,
Uncle Ron, okay.
his daughter.
Oh, that's Uncle Ron's daughter?
It is.
But not the Uncle Ron, the poker Uncle
Not
Ron.
not the character Uncle Ron. I hope he doesn't have any kids.
We'll play along with Lichtenberger here, who has the 9-6. Well, now we know that Colpoys is the Queen-5.
Just trying to sneak one by. This hand.
Pair of fives. Bishmar, good question in the YouTube chat. How are the points awarded for the Cup? Our 10K and 15K events will use the same scoring system, so every $1,000 is 1 point. For example, the winner of this event wins $200,000 in 200 points. Our 25K and 50K uses a more modified system where it's 0.6 points for every $1,000, and our 100K is 0.3 points for every $1,000. And we round up to the nearest point amount so we don't confuse ourselves with decimals and the like. Brent gets confused regardless. As Colpoys is turn trip fives. Chewy leading 200K with the gutter.
750.
750.
Colpoys wins.
I don't think Chewy has made a single mistake here today, at least not that I can recall, as far as big decisions are concerned. He's gotten away from every critical spot.
Why would they ever do that?
He is so tough to play against.
Probably just go like 75, 150 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more incremental.
Yeah.
Going 50K, 125K, 125K.
And here we shall stay.
Big blind ante.
What a dumb level this is, like, not dumb, like, interesting with such a small one. Like if we were like 3 or 4-handed, it could be
Chris
interesting.
Pradiri says, Brent, going back a bit, why don't some
Heads
of these
up.
guys
I
go
actually
play
think you should be
Helmuth
folding.
heads
Small
up?
blind,
Well,
it's not really worth it.
We'll see.
kind of a loaded
Maybe another
question,
little
but number
punishment
one,
here.
why would Helmuth play those guys heads up? It's really not. I think if you asked any of the guys on the PGT that are out here in the high rollers if they would had the opportunity to play in high stakes duel or in any sort of heads up format against Helmuth, would they do it? 99% would say absolutely. They'd love to play him.
good.
Got a 70-30 edge now for Colpoys.
Chewy drifts down to that 20 big blind level, 22 to be exact.
Oh.
It's sort of the danger zone where you'll see a lot of pre-flop all-ins. The occasional traps being set as well. Colpoys has
no idea.
Lucky Chewy on the ropes.
I wasn't prepared for this level.
Says at 50K, 125K, I can maybe fold a couple hands, including the 8 deuce.
Yeah, and
I had 8 deuce off.
actually got into a conversation with Daniel Negroni about these
like
heads-up
hands,
scenarios with the big blind ante
Not a great
included.
holding.
No, it's not spectacular.
Theoretically, you can absolutely play 100% of hands just by limping in. You're always getting the right price.
But it could be worse.
Colpoys can flick in 50K.
I don't know, man. Deuce 3 is pretty good.
A moment ago with that 8 deuce, he's getting a great price considering how much money's in the middle.
Except in this case with a little bit of a wider gap, a strange level at 50K, 125K.
It is
it's a little bit worse price than you would normally get, with just the big blind being simply double the small blind.
That is a fair point.
Okay.
Heads up for the title of event number 1 of this 8-event PokerGO Cup. Colpoys will limp in with the ace-3. Chewy has a little bit more than 20 bigs.
You had like 2.7 to start.
I have 2-5 behind right now.
Jack 5 deuce with 1 spade. Wheel draw for Colpoys. His ace high is best. Chewy has the straight draw.
I haven't seen Chewy wave the white flag in any of these moments. He's at least always stabbed on rivers for the minimum. Here comes 125. Just 4 high. Colpoys has plenty of showdown value.
High.
Says, I'll call you ace high, no problem.
Wisco Barron, same time tomorrow. You got it. 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time. For our final table coverage at the PokerGO Cup. King 9 of clubs for Lichtenberger. Calls, Colpoys hums and checks. 9, 5 deuce, 1 club.
Good question. Again, Brent Hammonds. Do you remember how Chewy got his nickname? I don't, but I know that Lucky Chewy was his online handle years and years ago. And I don't really know why or the origin of that.
Jack of diamonds on the turn, so the flush draw and the gutter now for Colpoys.
10 seconds.
450.
450.
Lichtenberger sizing up here more than 2/3, betting 450,000.
On.
The check jam by Colpoys here.
Wow.
If Chewy can find the call, it'll be a 2-to-1 favorite to double up.
Chewy, I think, is most concerned about maybe that jack. I don't think he believes Colpoys would play a flush this fast, but beautiful stuff.
It's the fold. Colpoys gets one through to extend his chip lead. He's up to almost 8 million in chips. Well done. Let's see what we have going on in event number 2, another 10K buy-in. And our chip leader checking the notes. Oh yeah, that would be this man, Daniel Negroni. With a pile in front of him and a meal.
5 with this.
With it?
Daniel Negroni has called his shot. He says that he is coming back,
bro?
going back to back in this PokerGO Cup, defending that title. He wants to bring home the Holy Grail.
It's a good turn card for me.
Dan Shack on Twitter.
Queen 8 with the Queen of Diamonds.
Right across from Negroni? I think so.
Feels like there's not too many available.
Wasn't very revealing, at least.
No, it was not. Just some PokerGO tweets.
Could have been ugly.
All in.
How's it feel?
What?
First pot in a while.
Feels good.
Little needle from Colpoys.
I feel like you're definitely winning after that comment.
50K, 125K, 125K, big blind ante. Playing 20-minute levels heads up.
Already checked.
Negroni. Jeff, I think, I forget exactly how he stated it, but he's been studying the tape.
Yeah.
He's been watching all the stairway coverage, watching past high rollers, and said he's got it. He knows what he needs to do here in this PokerGO Cup to take down these superstars. He said he's got it figured out. I believe him.
Looking forward to seeing whatever that strategy is on display if he does make a final table. Colpoys says most of it and wins. Colpoys so close to his second career tournament win. It'd be his second biggest live tournament score.
That's honestly surprising. As long as Colpoys has been playing, that he's only has one win. I really thought that he would have had more. Just shows you that crazy variance in poker.
Damn it. Such pain.
You're out?
I'm out, yeah. You also had more than I thought you did. When I jammed last time. I thought you had like 13 blinds. You do not.
Lucky Chewy has 10 career tournament titles.
You have like 1.9?
Yes, I have 1925 with this again.
Okay.
All in?
All of it with the king, and he wins. A new season of high stakes poker returns to PokerGO, premiering February 21st. Legends return and bricks of cash are back on the table. Subscribe now so you don't miss the new season. Use the code CUP22 to get $20 off a new annual subscription. Check out PokerGO.com. Use the code CUP22. Watch the new season of high stakes poker. Coming up soon. Ace-9 for Lichtenberger. Just limps in here. Colpoys with the 10-3 of hearts. Raise it up here. It's now the time for Lichtenberger.
All in?
Yes, it is. And he will take down this pot. Limp shove by Lucky Chewy. He's at about a 3-to-1 chip disadvantage. Entered the final table as the chip leader. Now it's Colpoys, who's ahead by a significant margin. And who looks down at Ace-10.
With Chewy now, a little more than 20 bigs, 21. Ace-10 might be good enough to simply try and figure out a way to induce.
Lichtenberger defends here with the Queen-9. Sees a queen in the window as it comes Queen-6 deuce, 2 spades.
Queen living for Lucky Chewy.
The check raised to 450,000. Colpoys out of the way.
Just like that. Only a 2-to-1 chip lead now. Here comes Chewy.
This is Lichtenberger's second PGT cash this year, finished 4th in a 10K high roller at Venetian. Also the second PGT cash for Colpoys, finished 4th at 25K at Seminole. Ball on the turn, now gut shots for both. Colpoys leads pot. Chewy calls.
Yeah, really.
Colpoys rivers the 5-ball.
Just the gutter and the equity maybe with queen high as well. If we make a pair of queens, we feel good. I thought maybe the pot size bet would move Chewy off the hand. And how about this? Colpoys now the blocker. 125.
For them in, about 10% pot.
And does Chewy just pull the trigger?
You win.
No.
Nope. Decides against it with the queen 9. Fairly quickly, too. Maybe not his best bluff candidate.
A bit of a grin from Colpoys. Makes that 5, bets the min, pretty big pot.
Just have like queen 10 of hearts or something. Oh, obviously not that.
Could have done something, but I don't know.
I did have a 5 in my hand.
I believe you. So far, when you have a 5 in your hand, I've been unsuccessful in getting you to fold.
Yeah.
It's true.
Colpoys been varying his sizing. I've seen
misclick
425.
Oh, he says
325, 4. Okay, so there's a misclick.
Wasn't going to make a difference.
Yeah, well.
Did you want action?
No. Well, it depends. If you call on it, like, reasonable things could happen.
It's true.
I had one good card.
It's the beauty of this game, where reasonable things can always happen.
One card that's a little bit less desirable.
There's pretty good cards here. Forming a king 10 suited. Just like I'm saying, Colpoys checks. Ace of spades in the window, Brent. You know, it's 3 to the royal, but we see Colpoys has the queen of spades. So
Well,
the
I'm
royal's
still gonna
probably
count
not
it.
coming in. You're still going to count it as 3 to the royal. Lichtenberger's going to count it. He's going to bet. He's going to
If
win.
we see the jack of spades, I'm just going to count it as the full
Still
royal.
playing now?
No, I don't think
75, 150.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
Your tournament director, Paul Campbell, tell us blinds are
You're
up.
one orbit too early
75K.
with your 400.
150K with a
You're one orbit too
150K
early
big
with
blind
your
ante. There is Chris Brewer, says PokerGO Cup starting today. Have 2 goals. First one is to play to the best of my ability. The second one is to make Daniel Negroni yell blank, blank again when I hit a 2-outer, which we have seen. Negroni replies, that was most definitely the loudest, deepest from my belly that I have ever belted.
You can just say it, Jeff.
I
Now
can't
we can
say
bleep
it.
you out
can
in
say it.
post.
I don't know.
How you going, bud?
I feel like I'd fall for the trap if
Full
I
flame.
said that, and then I would get used to saying it and just can't say it.
That little outside shot. I saw Bryn Kenny
I swear
in here.
I said was in my mind was that Brent Kenny, but then it's quote unquote only a 10K.
Right.
But is he back?
I guess Bryn Kenny is back.
Let's go.
Get him in here firing.
Heavy hitters are here at the PokerGO Studio for the PokerGO Cup. Lichtenberger check calls a flop, turns the gut shot. Chop it up if we get to showdown.
Nut high.
Me too.
Queen eyes? Yes. Look at that run out.
Well, wouldn't the nut high be having an ace in your hand for quads? Wouldn't that be the nuts?
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure. If that wasn't the case, I've been doing this whole commentary thing wrong the whole time. Colpoys versus Lichtenberger, our first heads-up matchup of the 2022 PokerGO Cup. $10,000 buy-in, 77 entries, a prize pool of $770,000.
Right.
Two with the ace-4 of clubs. Colpoys with 9s and Lichtenberger with perhaps a limp shove candidate in the form of the ace-4 suited.
I think you're exactly right, Jeff. That's what's going to happen here with his stack size, just under 20 big blinds. Wow.
Or just calls.
How does he know?
He just
Chewy
knows.
is just, it's spooky.
Comes queen 5-3, 1 club. The 9s are best.
Even
Chewy
now.
with the wheel draw, backdoor flush draw.
1.1 in the middle. Chewy may go with it here, depending on the sizing, over top of Colpoys.
Is small, 225,000.
Got the backdoor puppy paws. Any duck will do for the straight. You gotta love the power of an ace. It's still just gonna come along for the ride.
Do you have 3 stacks of red?
Yes. I have 1, 9, 2, 5.
The turn is an ace. Lichtenberger takes a commanding lead.
And that is pretty massive. Colpoys now maybe trying to rule out the fact, could he have an ace? Would he really just have called me pre-flop with any ace-X holding with less than 20 bigs in his stack? This is fascinating.
Betting about quarter pot here.
In the way he's played this hand, if I have 2 9s in Colpoys' seat, I'm not sure I'm ready to throw it into the muck. You can see it. He is perplexed. Says there's no way he'd bet a queen here for 450. I don't give him an ace. Are my 9s good? 2 million in the middle.
Cool.
Does indeed make the call. We know that his 9s are not good and that he needs one of the 2 remaining 9s on the river. And he finds a 9 on the river.
Oh my goodness.
With almost 2.5 million in the pot, Lichtenberger with 1.5 million behind.
Good night, Irene. Lichtenberger will value shove here. Has to feel he has the best hand.
There it is. This tournament is over.
I got there.
The first
Unlucky
high roller
start.
win for Dan
Yeah.
Colpoys comes at the first event of the 2022 PokerGO Cup.
Thank you.
He wins more than $200,000, and Brent Colpoys takes the lead in the race for the cup.
Yeah, heck of a comeback by Colpoys. Hung around, stuck around, got the cards when they mattered. Slow down,
like,
lucky
I knew
Chewy.
they
It was
bluff at that because
looked over for a while.
Transparent, but
take a runner-up finish, $146,000. He's on
then I wasn't
his way
What's up,
to
dude?
event number 2.
And there is Brent
Oh,
Kenny.
I didn't turn.
BK.
Oh, you have it on your account anyway, or whatever?
Yeah, it's in my account, but if you want cash, I can do that. Yeah, I'll give you chips.
Oh,
in a
he came
second.
to collect.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you weren't coming out for this.
Brent
You got
Kenny
bored?
is here. Lucky Chewy is here. And Dan Colpoys now has the lead. Brent Hanks, your thoughts on our first final table of the
Hey,
cup?
about as entertaining as it gets, really. Love to see Colpoys take this thing down. Chewy, runner-up. Darren Elias rounds out the podium, 3rd place finish. We're back for more tomorrow, baby. Can't wait.
Yes, sir.
That wraps up event number 1. The PokerGO Cup is on the line, and we cannot wait to continue final table coverage throughout the course of this series. For our entire crew, for Brent Hanks, I'm Jeff Platt. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow for final table coverage of event number 2. It's another 10K buy-in, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. See you then.